We got the king of the wrench mob back in the building one more time for you guys. And we're about to have some fun, do some mock stuff, and just have a good time with the no Maniacs and Super No Maniacs. So let's get it cracking. Yo, 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 No Maniacs, Super No Maniacs, and all in between. Welcome to another edition of Nomad at Night, man. This is one of those shows where we got, listen, I got to just say this, man, because Nod is one of my favorite guys ever since he started coming to the show. Listen, he just got this energy to him that I gravitate to just because that Bears fandom in him. I mean, he thinks about football and the Bears like all the time. If he's not thinking about the University of Washington Huskies,
Absolutely.
he's talking about the Bears, and he's always. I just love Naj, man, and I'm glad that we just had a slight little conversation right before we came on the show, and I understand now because Naj came up missing for a little while. I was like, damn, at the end of the season, I'm like, what happened to Naj? We haven't seen Naj in a while. Everybody was like, where's Naj? Where's Naj? And now I understand that Naj was suffering and he was going through depression, like all of us were at the end of this season. But unfortunately, we don't have any time off when it comes to this kind of stuff. We just got to keep moving forward. So I understood Naj 110%. He had to take some time away from it because that struggle bus is real, man. So Naj, how about me shut up and let you tell everybody what you've been going through lately? What's going on with
you? Just been going through a bunch of stuff. With Trump back in office, I got a government job. I'm a contracted employee through the government. I don't work for any government directly, but they had the thing where he wanted all the government agencies to show up at work. You can't telework anymore. So right now I'm driving to where I work 5 days a week, which is a 77-mile trip one way. So I'm just kind of getting used to it and just hanging in there. I just got some new chops. New wisdom teeth, or not wisdom teeth, new upper dentures put in last Monday. So starting tomorrow, it'll be 1 week. So getting better. I'm getting used to it. A little bit harder to eat and getting used to accustoming my mouth, putting in everything and talking all over again. So, just hanging in there, doing, just checking in on the Bears, everyone's channels, and just having a good time. Just trying to keep an even keel. Don't really have any expectations this coming year, but I would like to see them win every home game next year and at least maybe get 2 or 3 road wins in there. So that's where I'm at.
I got so stuck on when you said you got to drive 77 miles one way. I remember having to do that for a little while when I was living in Columbus, Ohio, man. That will wear on you. That will wear on you. I mean, like I had to literally move. I did it for about 9-10 months. And then it just came to I had to wait until that lease was up in that apartment that I had, but I had to get closer. I just had to just stop what I was doing, get closer to it. Because it wasn't going to be long. I wasn't going to keep doing that every day. But
right.
Hey, you got a pretty good job. You're going to do whatever you got to do, I'm pretty sure, Naj. But
it's a fairly good job. They're good people, but it's just a grueling. I'm driving like 3 to 4 hours a day, round trip. So and working Florida, 8 hours. So it gets old.
In Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm in Florida. Yep, along. I'm on the Atlantic side.
Yeah,
I live just north of Daytona.
Man, listen, Naj. I'm one of those. I'm like a prepper, kinda. And I became that over time because I worked an emergency response job, not like a EMS or nothing like that. I'm talking about you respond to disasters and things like that. Oh, wow. And I can't tell you how many times, in the span of a year that we had to trek down to Florida. This is a Georgia-based company, and we had to trek down to Florida for different disasters, stuff that's going on down there. And we kept telling people like, hey, listen. Make sure you got this, make sure you got that, make sure you have these plans and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just preaching right now. I'm just saying, take care of yourself down there, man.
We just had a whole bunch of snow in the Panhandle. About maybe it was 6 weeks ago. Yeah. And that they shut down Highway 10. And snowplows had to come from Atlanta.
And 10 is
That
like a
was
major
crazy.
artery down there, right?
What's that?
10 is like Highway 10 is like a major artery down there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's Mobile. It goes all the way to Mobile. So,
Man.
yeah.
Man, but listen, Naj, we about to have some fun. We only
Yes, we are.
We're gonna have some fun with Naj, man, and get to it as quick as we can because Naj just got to get up in the morning because he's got that long ride, and we're gonna have as much fun as we can before he gets out of here. So, kids, if you want to give out some pleasantries, we'll just hurry up and start cooking, man, and get it going.
Absolutely, we'll do all that. Naj, good to have you back, man. Crazy with the snow in Florida. I kind of always I always love it when it snows in Florida. Strangely, just on some hater shit. Half my family's out in Florida, right? So being Jamaican, most of my family at some point figured out they can make American money in pretty close to Jamaican weather in Florida. So everybody's over there that isn't over here.
You got to come down.
Oh man, I usually I'm surprised I haven't been down. Like I haven't been down in a couple of years, but usually, almost once a year. It's been a minute though. It's been about 5 years since I've gone, to be honest with you. But my auntie used to call me when I was little and be like, "Oh, it's cold. It's cold." I'm like, "Auntie, you lived in Canada. You know what cold actually is. What are you talking about?" And the funny thing is, the last time I was there. I was in Orlando. I was on a cruise. I was on a cruise to the Bahamas. Jumped on my cruise ship, did all the fun stuff. Awesome trip. Came back and got to the dock. And when I got to the dock, the night before, like that morning, you wake up real early on the ship and you do your incidentals, and they usher you off. And I'm like, what am I gonna wear? I'm like, I'm going to Orlando. So I throw a pair of shorts on, t-shirt, and a little sling bag with my carry-on stuff. So I get off my boat, and as soon as I step off, I'm like, whoa, it's like -10 out here. And I look over, all the guys on the dock are dressed in full-on parkas, and they got like, y'all call these beanies, we call them toques. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a toque in Canada. Anyways,
Gotta put this on for you.
Look at this. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of stuff these guys are wearing out there on the dock because it's cold as all sin. Plus, you got the water, which just makes it even colder. So I'm laughing. I'm going, I didn't even know. You know what I mean? I didn't even know they sold like a beanie out here, or let alone a parka in Florida. This is crazy. So I was just cracking jokes about it, and I have been ever since. But, we got a bunch of that same snow that 6-week period of time. We got a bunch of that. I've had 2 more snowstorms since then. But I think we're finally done. You know what I mean? Out here. So I'm out in Ottawa. So our Senators looks like they are up against Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's going to be fun. You should go to a game.
I just might, now that you say it. Maybe I'll bring a potential client out to a game. That would be great.
That's why I was bugging you that Toronto's got a better road record than they do at home. So you might want to catch one of those home games in Toronto.
The thing is, man, so these 3 teams are so close to each other. Sorry, y'all. You know what I mean? We're talking a little bit of hockey here. A little bit of hockey. We'll get off the hockey in a minute. But these 3 teams are so, like, Bears-Packers rivalry, straight up and down. Ottawa Senators, Toronto Maple Leafs, Montreal Canadiens rivalry is ridiculous because Ottawa's the newer team. Right, it's a more recent team. I think they started in around the year 2000, or maybe 1997, maybe 1990. But it's been they're the newest team. The other 2 teams,
they're the historical,
historical beef for 100 years.
Who's Marlon? Who's Marlon talking about? Who's the Golden Knights?
Golden Knights. I don't know. Vegas. Yeah, Marlon must be. Are you out in Vegas, Marlon?
They must be out in Vegas. Hockey team?
Yeah, Vegas got a hockey team. There's hockey just about everywhere now that you really think about it. But
they got it in Florida. They can have it anywhere.
This is what I'm trying to say. It's in an indoor arena, but you can have it anywhere, baby. You know what I mean? So these 3 teams. The last game I went to was an Ottawa versus Toronto game, and I got on the shuttle because, much like Chicago, I mean, you go to these games and it's a nightmare to get out in your vehicle. So I was like, screw it. I'm jumping in a shuttle. It'll take me right home, basically. Jumped in there, and it's got Ottawa fans and Toronto fans because before the Senators existed, everybody was either a Leafs fan or Canadians fan. So
Right.
the base of Toronto fans in Ottawa, ridiculous. The base of Canadians fans in Ottawa, ridiculous. So if I go to either one of these games, but it is off the chain, man. People on the bus going crazy. And when I say they're going crazy, they're in your face screaming, Toronto, the Leafs! I'm like, bro, like, okay, you won the game or whatever it is. Like, it's cool. They're going nuts in your face. I'm very surprised more fights did not start, but I guess I'm just not that big a hockey fan to really start anything up. I guess that's really the answer to this. But it's crazy over here. So maybe I will go to a game because they're wild. They're wild, bro.
You know what, kid? I've gotten free tickets being handed to me over every major sporting event you can think of, but not once in my life.
Not for hockey.
Walked up and offered me hockey tickets. They probably looked at me like, that motherfucker ain't gonna watch no hockey. What the fuck I'm gonna give it to him for? I just don't. I probably don't look like a hockey guy. You know what I mean? But I've had people give me free tickets to just about anything, but never once hockey ever.
Bro, I got some free tickets to, like I'm saying, that last game was free tickets from a client. And they set me up, man. So they paid for the shuttle. They paid for a free buffet dinner. So underneath the stadium, they got a buffet restaurant. And it's one of the best, straight up and down, one of the best buffet restaurants in the city. Like, I didn't even know about it until I went there. And like, as I'm, getting my food, I go over, I'm like, damn, they got some prime rib up in here. This place is a prime rib. Okay.
Wow.
So I go over. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about at the buffet. You know what I'm saying? So I go over to get the prime rib, and the guy serving it looks up and he's like, "Kids?" I'm like, "Who's that?" Oh snap! It's a buddy of mine. It's my buddy's younger brother. My buddy, shout out Jerry, shout out Ayub. It's his younger brother, and he's serving up right there. So he like made sure to give me a little extra prime rib and stuff.
There you go.
It was a great experience. Even better, front row. And I'm there with I'm there with my son and my nephew and my neighbor's kid. So he gave us 4 tickets, front row. One of the best hockey experiences I've ever had. It was awesome.
Oh,
it was crazy. But again, screaming Leaf fans are another story. Back to football though. Sorry, y'all. You know what? I would go to original 6, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with all the original 6 teams. So I would definitely go to a Blackhawks game. Bar none. They're like my number 3 team because, hometown Canadians, Blackhawks.
Let me be Nomad the Canuck right quick and give the shout outs for kids.
I'm not going to do right now.
Oh, I was just about to do it.
Okay,
you want to do it? All right. Starting out with our guy here, the Immortal Naj, in the building, live and direct with us. Next up, number 2, No Maniac, my guy Cornelius Squall. Shout out to you. Liberty's Outlook is rolling with us tonight. Black Rain 7920's out there. Derek Guy, shout out to you, sir. He's a super no maniac. You should be too. Big Scrolls, what's cracking, Scrolls? Oh, good. We're gonna have a good night tonight. Scrolls is in the building. Who else we got? Marlon Johnson. He's out in Vegas doing the darn thing. Stay away from them casinos, bro. Stay away from them casinos. They'll get you. They definitely got me this year, man. I'm just saying. Craps table was not friendly to this guy the last time I was at the casino. I was there like 2 weeks ago. It's not a good scene. That's where I'm at.
All right, so really quick, because before we get into the football stuff, let me select the No Maniacs. Oh, kids, you can, doesn't matter. I think the first guy I saw in his Super No Maniac was Derek Guy. So, Derek, you can be posed again tonight. Derek Guy. So, how we're gonna do this is first we're gonna let the computer simulate Notch. We're gonna get 5 computer simulations up to 10. And we're going to try to find the consistencies of who would want to trade back and who's offering the best offer. To me, I think the more and more you do that, the closer and closer you get to an idea of something actually happening on draft day. We're just going to try to find out who's consistently offering the best offer at 5, and then we're going to pick the draft. That's how we're going to do it, man. And so let me see. Derek Guy, I think, who's the next guy in? I think Marlon was
I think Derek, Marlon, and then maybe Minister Charles would be the last guy who just jumped in. Shout out to you, Minister Charles.
Mr. Charles is there?
Yeah, he just jumped in just now.
Okay, so I got Derek Guy as posed, Marlon Johnson as Ben Johnson, and we got Minister Charles as if he wants he can take Dennis Allen, right? And that's really pretty much all we need, right?
That sounds about right.
Okay.
So before we get into all that fun jazz, were you guys able to watch any of the? And I specifically wanted to bring this up because me being the general asshole that I am, kind of cussed out. You know, I gave a bad look to George McCaskey last week. I did. And then I watched his presser this week. Did you guys by chance see the George McCaskey presser this week?
No, I did not.
No.
I did. I saw it.
What you know what? I have to like I'm saying, I have to cuss myself out just a little bit because he was fantastic in this presser. And I'm gonna say, some stuff, right? I'll start by saying George, like, you've given us some really bad pressers over the last 10 years, which kind of clouds my judgment on you just a little bit. You give us some really bad press, bro. But this one here was actually really well served, really well done. It kind of left me feeling differently about George McCaskey, and I want to say some stuff to him. And the first one, whether you're watching or not, George, I'm just being a realist here. First off is blessings and prayers and rest in peace to your mom. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
At some point during this presser, Adam Johns asked him really a question with respect to succession. What do you think is going to happen moving forward? Are you guys going to stay with the Bears? Are you going to keep the Bears? Are you planning to divest and move on onto other things? Like what are sort of the plans? And I was kind of taken aback by the questioning, but Adam Johns did sort of say, like, he prefaced it by saying something along the lines of, like, we're going to get into some sensitive material here, and I apologize. And George himself was like, don't apologize, without really understanding where Adam was going. And then Adam went into this, like, post-mortem situation. And as George was giving his response, he started crying. And at that point, I was like, man, I feel terrible for this guy. He's in a situation, just to say it, my mom's passed away many years ago, and I know what he's going through. You know what I mean? So it was a little bit much, just sort of catching that part of him. And yeah, he did say that he wants the Bears to be, he wants the McCaskies to be connected to the Bears for another 100 years. I strangely also, as I said last week, I find that a little bit. I will find it surprising once the Arlington Heights situation gets put into place, simply because, I'm sure they'll be connected, but I don't know if they will be right in the exact same capacity that they're in right now, mainly because you can make there's a lot of money to be made in what they're trying to do, right? And if the money is there, the McCaskey family situation is safe, and, they can potentially pull them.
Wait a minute, kid. So all those shorts I got cooked up with you kicking George McCaskey in the ding ding. Now I got to save all that. That's not good for nothing. Because you give him credit right now, but you kicked the crap out of him.
Look,
talking about him. That was on Friday, I think.
Look, I'm a dynamic human being. I learn, I love, I live, and I'm not averted to change. I'm not averted to I'm not averted to being wrong. I will be wrong, and I have been. And I'm admitting all of those things. At the same time, yes, George, you kind of walked me into most of the things that I have said with respect to you and the ownership piece. But George came off as he actually came off funny, which kind of blew me away too. Right, he cracked a couple of jokes there, one at the expense of Brad Biggs, which was probably well deserved. He's like, oh, like your colleague Brad Biggs said this, that, and the third about us, and what Brad Biggs had said. The Bears had won the offseason again, And he was like, basically, he was implying that we need to actually win in season, which is correct. It's fair. But Brad Biggs didn't even bother to show up here today.
First of all, I think people are harsh. People are harsh on that guy, and I don't understand it, quite frankly, because to me, you know, when you know you're not a football person, but you're true blue and orange, and you're serious about really wanting something for this team, and every time you go out and make decisions as far as coaches go, GMs go, you're taking a chance. So every single time he's just giving faith to the situation. I like the fact that I think he's a nice guy, man, and really does care about this organization. But I think people get so upset with the mediocrity or less than that. I think people just need somebody to punch, and he's just an easy target. He's just a very easy target.
He's an easy target. There's a
I
little
don't think
bit.
he's a dummy, though. I think he's had some lessons learned. I think they got it right now.
I think so, man.
Naj, you nailed it, and that's where we are. I think he's done certain things, sort of at the behest of the greater NFL, which is, hey, holler at these guys within the the club. They'll steer you the right way, and hopefully this will all work out for you. And systematic.
Well, the Ford family in Detroit, they're not any better or worse either. I mean, it's
what's funny, Naj,
like, either.
Since you bring that up,
you just now got it right.
I'm just saying, finally they moved away from that club and said we're going to get a guy that we think actually gives a damn about football, right? And not only football, Lions football. He cares. That's the guy that we're going to bring in here. He's going to do the darn thing. It's working. That's kind of what the Bears did this time. It was like, not only are we getting a guy who actually is the consensus choice for this job, but when Ben Johnson walked in the door, it was like, I want to be here. This is where I wanted to be the whole time. I'm really glad to be here. Let's get to effing work. And
what I like about Ben Johnson the most is he surrounds himself with the right people that compliment him, that know like the nuances that he doesn't know. So it's a really good professional staff of coaches.
You know what? Before you even say anything, kids, let me get right back to Naj, because we haven't gotten a chance, really. I talk to Naj all the time, whether it be usually through the chat, but other times he'll DM me. We message each other back and forth, but I really haven't gotten your take on where you thought the weaknesses were after you saw last season. Just take your time and point anything out you want to point out. And
I mentioned this to you earlier before we logged in. I think the offense as a whole had a Justin Fields hangover all season.
Yeah,
you just saw the numbers way down. For all the receivers mainly. They just were in a funk all year. It was unfortunate. And Caleb, I like Caleb. I know a lot of you think I'm a UW guy and I like Penix a lot. And I'm not a Caleb hater. I think he got really in a bind. He didn't really have a lot of support from his offensive coordinators or his teammates as well. And kudos to him to getting it right and being a leader, especially the last game of the season. I'm more proud of him than any other player on that offense, really.
He did come a long way, man. And
he did.
Now, be honest with you now. The way I saw it game to game, I saw that guy. I mean, when I say the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows were so steep and so high. I mean, like he had some real nice highs. But when it got low, it went real like Grand Canyon deep bad.
He was just going so nuts. Every game, the first half, he would just struggle, and I couldn't take it anymore. But he overcame it. He really did by the end of the year.
So Scrolls is being a smart ass in the chat. I don't know.
Scrolls is killing the chat as usual. I don't know if you caught the first one, but I gotta throw the first one out first here. So there's Naj likes Penix. Huh? Hey, you see what he did there?
Okay.
Also, I gotta leave mid-show to get my daughter, so I'll be Nate Davis. Cold-blooded.
All right, so far, with the move that they've made, the acquisitions that they've made, let's just say from 0 to 100, give me a percentage of how done you think this situation is, or do you think there's still a lot to do? You had to think about that. He had to think about it, or he froze. One of the two. I think he froze.
It may be both.
Oh yeah, he froze. Nah, just a little bit, but you're live now again.
It's my Wi-Fi, probably.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to hit him with the question again, though, man?
What do you think of the moves, man? Of a 0 to 100%, how done and complete do you think this roster is, or do you think they still need to? Like, if I had to give you a number, I'd probably say somewhere between 75, 80%.
I was going to say 75. Yeah. Because you don't want to do too many, because then your cohesion gets screwed up.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. I just do like the I like the way they got this thing set up, because they set it up, and if they were to look out and trade this thing back and accumulate some extra picks to this, I think they've set the situation up where they can not. My main concern right now is them getting depth on the offensive line. That's like the number one thing in my mind, getting depth on the offensive line, then getting a couple of running backs. In my opinion, that's pretty much solves your issues on offense. And then you're going to get an edge rusher, maybe a speed pass rusher or something like that, or whatever. You might go and get whoever, but I think they're a few pieces away, man. But I think they can answer all of that in this draft. I really do.
And when you say they're a few pieces away from what?
From being a team that's being taken seriously year in and year out. I think
competitive football team is where you're going with that. Yeah.
They have no weaknesses, I think, is where you're going to.
Yeah.
They're a rounded team.
Yeah, that I can agree with.
Kids, now let me tell you, I know this for a fact. You're never any better than, say, if you're in that starting 11, on whether it's offense or defense, you are no better than the other guys that's coming behind you. That next 11, if that next 11 can't come in there in rotation and show up the way you showed up with your first 11, then you're in a bad situation. We saw that too many times this year, did we not?
Yes, we did.
You just didn't have any depth, man, in those sexy picks. I love
them. And what got me too is they were never prepared on those road games for whatever reason. They just had no spark or anything. The Green Bay game was the only road win they had all year, right?
Yeah, that was it. That was it. And again, man, I'm telling you guys, in the trenches, until we're fortified with another five in rotation that can play the way the first five can play, we're going to be on the struggle bus in mediocrity. We've got to get the trenches solidified. And so you got to draft high, in my opinion, on the offensive line and on the defensive line. In my opinion, you guys agree or disagree?
No, I'm in full agreement. Notch?
Yeah. I would like to see, especially on defense, at least 2 defensive tackles drafted and a linebacker that can fill in when they want to go 4-3. Man. And they need to stop the run. That was driving me nuts too all year. They couldn't stop the run, especially up the middle.
See, I'm a little bit less worried about that now, and I think the run stopping DT rotation is really going to be Billings and Jonathan Ford, who gets little to no props. So I'll give him a little bit of love out here. I think that's sort of what that rotation is going to look like. I do agree with you, though, Naj. We definitely need a defensive tackle. I'm not sure if it's at the 3 tech position or at the nose position. I was leaning nose most of the time, but maybe
I was too.
Maybe they've seen what they needed to see out of Jonathan Ford, though. They didn't get it out of Coward. They didn't get it out of Williams, but they've re-signed Williams. And they didn't really get it out of our guy Zach Pickens. So I think Don's out
missing in action all year.
Yeah, Kenneth Grannon, the Samoan from WS.
Come on, Jonas.
Don's saying we need one more 1 tech. I don't know. Like that's where I'm leaning there, Don. So I like a big guy smack in the middle there. I think that's what we should be aiming towards. But a guy like Kenneth Grant, you kind of can't go wrong with. He'll do both. Same thing with Tyleek. He'll do both. So there's just a couple of guys that I lean towards a little bit more so in this upcoming draft. But like that's my thoughts there. I'm also looking for an edge rusher. Obviously, the better we can get on the edge, if we can get one more speed guy, that'd be great. I really like Austin Booker, and my thoughts is give him a year or two, and he'll eventually just blossom into what he's really going to be. But we still got to see.
I've looked at this draft so hard, and I come to some broad conclusions about a lot of things. And I'm starting to. I know people think that Will Campbell is the best tackle. We're talking about the best tackle in the draft versus the best lineman in the draft. Like I feel really good when I tell you I think Jonah Savanea out of Arizona is the best lineman, the most dominant lineman in this draft. And when I compare him to Penei Sewell on that short, just understand what I'm saying to you. He flashes pure dominance, man, like Penei Sewell did when he was in school. Like you can see it. It was tangible. You can actually see it. It's just about now, now people are just arguing about, okay, is he a tackle? Is he a guard? Who gives a damn? We got the starting right tackle. If you want to put him at left tackle, let him challenge. But if the floor is guard, you can probably end up with one of the best guards in football in the next.
Absolutely.
You can see that. You can see he's going to dominate. Jonah Savanea is probably the best offensive lineman in this draft all around.
Man, I like Jonah. I like Will Campbell. I'm coming back around to the Will Campbell thing. And the reason for it is that our guy Joe Thuney is eventually going to retire. So it's not the end of the world if you're getting if he's got short arms. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm saying. If he's got short arms, that's all right. You line him up as left tackle for a little bit, give him some snaps, get him some shots at that particular position. If it doesn't work out, you can slide him just one spot over to take over for the Pro Bowler, right? So that's a type of depth that kind of interests me. I think the kid's fantastic. So, that's my thoughts there as far as the O-line is concerned. There's a bunch of other guys that I would be super stoked with if we want, like they're gonna pick an O-lineman, whether it's 10, 39, or 41. Like that position is square. A defensive lineman is in play too, right? So the question is, what do you really do with that first pick? Is it one of those two shots, or do you take a shot at something else?
Well, I'll tell you what, kids. Let's cue this thing up, man, because Naj only has a limited amount of time, and
I'm good. I can maybe go another hour. We'll see.
I just want you to get in the maximum amount of what we want to do. But man, I just saw a comment. Let me pull that up. Somebody just mentioned something that I wanted to speak. I'm glad you said that when you said that, Naj, because here it is. Don mentioned Austin Booker. He says, I personally think Austin Booker is going to break out without a doubt. We have a great rotation now. That's another thing. Like people
I have a strange feeling. Yeah.
People like I'm gonna break down Austin Booker and show you guys on all 22. Like he's right there. We got to remember he's a rookie and he's learning how to be a professional, and the whirlwind of coming from college to the NFL and all the stuff that he had to do. People kind of, don't even pay attention to that. But that guy is, I'm telling you, you can see it. You can definitely see it. Now they're going to ask him. He's not going to have to be really thinking in this defense. All he has to do is attack the guy in front of him and get pressure. That's all he's going to be asked to do.
Well,
if he gets sacked, that's a plus.
He does that already. You know what I'm saying? Like he does it.
That's going to go up a notch, kids.
Part of the issue, I'm going to give the kid a little bit of a little. I don't know here, like a little bit of a thumbs up. Part of the issue is there wasn't a lot of pressure coming in from the center, right? If there's pressure coming in from the center, where does the quarterback go? He's either going to go left or he's going to go right. He's going to go away from the center pressure. If there's pressure and it's driving it into him and the pressure that he's applying, sack. Same thing for Montez Sweat. So you bring on a guy like Grady Jarrett, who definitely knows how to create pressure and a bit of havoc in the middle. And what happens? One of these guys or both of these guys on the outside start to eat lunch. I kind of feel like one of those guys might be named Austin Booker. So we're going to have to wait and see what the rotation looks like with Austin and Dio. But I have a strange feeling these guys are going to start to eat some sacks now, whereas it was slim pickings before.
You know, those like Austin probably, there's a handful of players that you know, I evaluated at the end of the season and just stuck out. Like Austin Booker, sometimes he stumbled and fumbled his way into plays at times. Like it looked like he didn't know what he was doing all the time, but he played fast and he played aggressive and his motor never turned off. And so wherever he might have had shortcomings, you wouldn't have known it because he was always flying all over the place. And that's what coaches are looking for all the time. Just, you know, you might not get it right. You might come off the ball with the wrong plan to rush the passer. But if you overrun the play or if you took the wrong technique inside or outside, just keep rolling. Just keep rolling where the ball is at. And that's what he does. You see it over and over and over again. That motor is real.
Yeah, he should probably go in on third down and long, or third down and, you know, when passing situations. That's probably where he'll thrive the most, I think.
I agree. I truly do. I really like, you know, I've been suggesting that my son study his long arm. His long arm is nasty as all sin. Like, it really is. It gets him washed out sometimes, but sometimes it gets him washed in, as in he can swim over top of the long arm and cut into the towards the quarterback, towards the center of where the pressure is. And that washout situation is fine, especially if the quarterback is being flushed out towards that, towards where he's going. So, like I say, I think he's going to do very well this season. I'm not going to say I expect a lot, but I think he's going to do very well with that added pressure with Grady and Javon and Billings back in the building, right? I think something's going. I think that center, that DT rotation is going to make it a lot easier for these guys on the outside to eat.
Kids and nods. You know what's probably the most impressive thing? I think I want to say that Austin Booker is under 260 pounds. I'm pretty sure he's under 260
I think
pounds.
he probably is.
He came in at 245.
Okay, so he's that way. He's under 255. So he's somewhere probably, you know, swimming around the neighborhood of 245, 252, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe. If that might be being generous. But the power that guy plays with is incredible to watch it. Like, the kind of thrust that he hits that offensive lineman with all that power, the speed to power. Oh my goodness. It's like, how heavy you say this guy is? And he's got the frame to easily stack on another 15 pounds. And
absolutely.
So the upside, I think the upside with Austin Booker is tremendous, man. I really do.
Oh, that, like I say, that strong arm move that he's been leveraging, it is super nasty. And it gets him to where he wants to go. Creature saying 6'5", 240. That makes perfect sense to me. Again, very close to my son's build, right? He kind of wants to be that lighter edge. But you get a boost of speed as that lighter edge, but you have to back it up with strength. You have to back it up with power, or you're going to lose out. And we see a lot of power from Austin Booker too. Like, you know, just like Nomad is saying, don't get me wrong. He's a fast kid, but he's got a fair amount of strength with that long arm stab, man. It's incredible.
Man, so I could talk about the roster all day long because it's a lot of talent on that roster. And you heard both coaches come in and say that they really were attracted to this situation, talking about Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen, because of the level of talent that was already here. Most of these guys come into those situations, and you pretty much have to flush it all out just to replenish everything you have inside the building. And they're coming in with a nice little surplus. And all they really needed to do, they've already been playing a West Coast style of offense. They've already been playing a 4-3 defense. And so all you do is replenish the your repertoire. You just get, okay, I don't see a quick, fast, twitchy 3-tech. Let's go get Grady Jarrett. Okay, I don't see the other edge rusher on the other side of Montez Sweat that's big and long and can really collapse the pocket from the other side of him. Like I'm looking for, okay, let's go get Dio Dingo. We need a center because we got a young quarterback. He's going to have communication issues, especially with a new offense he's learning for the second time since he's been a pro. Let's go get a center. We need some veteran interior guys. Our interior of our offensive line really sucked. It sucked bad. We had one good player, but the situation provides us an opportunity to upgrade. And they answered every single thing. They checked every box, in my opinion. They checked every single box, and they did exactly what I thought they would do in the offseason. If you've been watching and paying attention, everybody knows that I've said all offseason, if they do this right, you don't have to go into this draft to go draft for a need. Really, all you be going into this draft to do is to get who you think are the best players available, number one. Two, strengthen the depth along your trenches. That's basically what they're going into this draft to do. If they get a running back or two out of this, great. They get a receiver out of this, great. They were the best player available at those positions. But if they don't come out of this thing with at least 4 players in the trenches, I think they made a huge mistake. Huge mistake.
Huh. The other thing I like that they did this offseason is I think at almost every level, they've added a veteran presence. And that to me is super important.
Yes,
so you know what I mean? So you have your leadership now baked into this team, starting with Joe Tooney. If you look at the safety position, you've got Kevin Byard right back there with the DBs, and cornerbacks, you've got Jalen Johnson, a young veteran player in Tremaine Edmonds, right? He started at, I think he's like 25 now. He might be turning 26 this year, but I believe he's got 6 years in the league. That's pretty veteran to me. They just brought in Case Keenum in the quarterback position, right? Like it's kind of an impressive. And this is me saying I'm saying all this now after, like, fact of the matter was I was done with Ryan Poles. I was like, it's okay. Like, somebody bring in the cane and just yank him, yank him off stage. I'm finished. The Ryan Poles experiment, I've seen just about enough. And he came back around, and he's done some really interesting things here to, again, provide this team with something it was desperately lacking last season, and that was leadership. There was no leadership.
Well, that too, and you've got each position group now has a senior member or a mentor to bring. So if you drafted like every position group a rookie, they've got someone to look up to and ask questions to other than the coaches.
Yeah, there was nothing like that last season except for again, maybe at the the linebacker and maybe in the secondary, right? Like the back seven. Yeah, okay. So there might be a little bit of veteranship there. Nothing on offense at all. Those guys unfortunately were running just flying blind.
And nobody on the offensive line was a captain either. That was another pet peeve of mine.
Or the defensive line for that matter too, right?
Right.
Crazy. How you not gonna have guys from the trenches as captains?
Wow, what do you mean?
Well, look how many captains did they have? Didn't they have like 6 or 7 captains, and not one was from either trench?
8 captains.
What it was?
8.
Like, I'm like the best player on my team in high school, and there's people on my team that will argue because there's other guys that took major scholarships, not just me. And I knew it. I knew I was the best player on the team, and I was a leader in and out of the locker room. But sometimes the coach, one of the head coach used to have, he didn't favor me that much because I don't know why, man. I don't know what it was about me that rubbed off on him the wrong way, but he played a little bit of favoritism in and around me. So I remember my junior year, there was a vote to select captains that year, and it went to a hat. And I didn't come out of that hat as a captain, and I know it was fixed. But you know what? Sometimes I think, and I never got to ask him about this either, and sometimes I think he set it up that way. I played with a chip on my shoulder anyway, but just like, why are you trying to really take me over? I was a demon. You understand me? I was possessed the entire season because I didn't get that seat.
Really?
Yes.
You took it personally?
Oh, I took it real personal.
All right.
Then they made the right decision then.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just layering it on because that's a fact. If you did take it personally and you let that fuel you, they gave you the fuel you needed to get that scholarship.
He did it because he was an asshole, man. He wasn't trying to.
He didn't want to give favoritism to you because you were the best player. That's all that was about.
I was mad. Everybody was like, "Man, what's up with that?" And I was just like, "Man, fuck that dude, man." I was mad, but I played like an animal the entire season.
Well, good for you.
I make a play and go to the sideline. How you like that shit? And he just be sitting there with a smirk on his face, just grinning. And he's like, part of me does believe he had a little. He was trying to mess with me a little bit just to fuck around with me. But it worked, man, because I was a problem. I was a serious problem. But, that's a story for a whole other day. Kids, let's fire up the simulator, man. Let's start getting a look at what's the most consistent thing that we can find. We can spot some consistencies here if we go looking for them. Lately I've seen New England and I've seen Denver have the best, hands down, offers to trade back, period.
All right, so before we start this up, I just want to engage with Don a little bit. Don, big respect to you out there. Big respect to Swifty. This is where me and Swifty, you know what I mean? I have mad love for Swifty. This is where me and Swifty have a dichotomy. Swifty loves what Ryan Poles has done from front to back and has done full-on shows sort of explaining why he believes that he's done the right thing. I could, and like, bear with me, is kind of running down the line here. Thanks, bear with me. Shout out to you. But there's a fair amount of mistakes, clear and obvious mistakes that Ryan Poles has made. And that's why I was out on Ryan Poles. And, people may look at it one way versus the other. Swifty looks at it one way. I look at it the other way. What I am going to say is right now in Bears history, historically, he just cleaned up his own mess. And I'm rolling with Ryan Poles. So we're all back in the same, you know what I mean? We're all back in the same limousine traveling to the same destination at this point. He cleaned up his mess. He's made a couple of screw-ups, man. But at the end of the day, trenches look good. Veteran leadership looks good. Coaching looks good. Only a couple of little issues here now, and the issues are around maybe depth and maybe the running back room. I think that's like where the buck stops for the most part. Maybe, is there a problem with you know what I mean? Is there a problem with the safety position with Brisker? These are the things that I need to sort of figure out. But we're hoping that Ryan Poles has himself a stellar draft. I was hoping the same things last year. That draft did not come off stellar, mainly because of hubris, right? He decided to go and get himself a kicker instead of really solidifying a couple of positions that he could have solidified.
While you talking, I'm thinking I think I spotted Don Burr because I've been wondering where his ass has been at. I think bear with me, it's Don Burr.
Really?
Guys, you got to go back to Swift's channel. Swift's channel. He just put up a Brisker PSA and he's looking good.
Oh yeah?
He gave him a public service announcement. He looked good today.
Perfect.
He really did. He's ready to go after it.
Looked like he was in good spirits for real. But let's look at this thing, man. Let's go ahead and make the first. We're gonna do 5 of them, kids.
How do you want me to run this? Do you want me to run this?
Let me see if I can expand this screen a little bit so people can see this better. How's that look? Is it any different?
No.
Oh, you guys, it doesn't work. It only works from my end. So
like I can expand this screen a little bit myself, but then it becomes harder for me to navigate it. So I'm just gonna leave it. I'm sorry, y'all. See, bear with me. It's not Don Burr, man.
I'm telling you, man, I got a feeling this is Don. It might not be.
There's no chance. He's a real one, and it all has everything to do with what he said here, though. Poles' track record speaks for itself. Velus Jones, Claypool. I don't even think Don Burr could name all these people.
Man.
Not to mention the stats related to these people, the contract, Don,
Yeah,
and
that ain't
Don would have
Don.
misspelled a bunch of this too, just to put
I was
that
about
out
to say that ain't Don. He spelled too good to be Don.
Ah, snap. All right, so we're gonna start it out and just take a look at what this trade scenario may look
All
like.
right, before we look at the trade scenario, just hide that for a second. And we're gonna first look at the consistencies on who's getting picked where. Now I should pay close attention to this. Now, Cam Ward, like the last couple of times I did, 2 or 3 times I did a mock, he's going every time to the Titans. Abdul Carter is not always there. It's sometimes it's Shedeur Sanders that goes right after that. And then it goes Travis Hunter. And then it goes Abdul Carter. You know, but I'm not sure. See, this really doesn't matter to me because, you know, but let's look at these trade offers right quick. Let's see what they're offering us.
Well, where you were is kind of interesting because, like, I don't, you know, this is interesting stuff. I think Travis Hunter goes to New York regardless. I think this is a huge mistake by the New York Giants. I just put that out there right now. Secondarily, if Abdul Carter falls beyond 3, these guys take him for sure. But same token, they need a tackle.
Like well, time out. First of all, Naj, can you see any of this?
No, I can't. But I'm listening. I'm listening. Right.
We're gonna have to do a good job of narrating what we're looking at.
Okay,
absolutely.
Right. That's a good, very good point. So, yeah. So Will Campbell is kind of like a lock to the Patriots in my mind. These guys are a wild card here at number 5, the Jaguars. So are these guys, number 6, the Raiders. These guys desperately need a quarterback, but they just signed Justin Fields. So I also don't think that Shedeur Sanders really winds up at the Jets.
No, I don't think he does either.
You know?
I think he's going to the Raiders.
You think so? That's actually a good call to me. I think it's a better call for Pete Carroll to grab him and mentor him behind Gino. That's actually a really interesting call. I've been saying a wide receiver to the Raiders the whole time, but maybe you double down on the quarterback position now while you have the opportunity and mentor the kid.
All right, so let's look at these trade proposals and let's see where we can find some consistency. I'm gonna write some notes here.
So this one makes sense, but the Bears will never take it. So pick number 30, 56, and 62 from the Buffalo Bills for pick number 10. Clearly, Buffalo wants to move up in this draft and will give a whole bunch of capital to do so. I don't see the Bears biting on this. This one makes.
Let's go back to that one.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you imagine they would be after to give up that much capital at that point? That's the interesting thing. So if you hide that for a second and look at who's on the board, are they after that running back? Are they?
Yeah.
Do you think that's who they after?
Yes.
All right. So, all right, let's look at the next trade offer. Okay.
That's so cool. The next trade is Tampa Bay, pick number 19, 53, and 84 for Chicago's 10. This makes much more sense to me. This is a pick that if I was Ryan Poles, I would heavily consider because that puts you basically in Nick Emanwari land. And that's a good I like that.
He would be so good at is that Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh, he would be so good at on that defense.
Oh my God.
Well, that's where they'd be moving up from there, right? Which is crazy because they're not going to pick the running back. Who would they be looking for?
No, they won't. They won't. Because they got Bucky Irving now.
They got Bucky, and Bucky's great. I really wish we scored Bucky last season.
I didn't think he was going to be that good.
I did.
He surprised me.
I did. I was calling for Bucky Irving for the better part of last season because I didn't think we were going to select a running back.
He would get hurt because he's not really that big. He's not really that bulked up, but he's elusive.
He's super elusive, and I thought being a Chicago kid, I thought he would just fit Chicago.
To tell you the truth, Buffalo, to be honest with you, Buffalo, they don't have Von Miller anymore. So, in my opinion, they're going to be trading up, probably try to get an edge rusher.
Well, the first edge rusher on the list here is Mike Green. They might be looking to do something like that, but they don't really have to come down to 10 to get a Mike Green.
I'm just saying, I mean, I think it's more than I think you think they might want a running back. I don't think that's a desperate need for them right now.
I think they want to, I think they want to
they need a pass rush. They watch the same Super Bowl we all watch, and they need pass rush to get you over the top. Defensive front, getting guys off the field, giving your offense another bite at the apple. To me, I think the pass rushers are going to come off that board at a serious premium, probably faster than people think. But all right, let's look at that. Is that the last of the?
There's only 2 trades this time around.
So, what appeared to be the best offer to you two guys? Tell Naj what it is so he knows.
So one more time, Naj, we're looking at pick 30, 56, 62 from Buffalo, moving us way back to the end of the draft or end of the first round, versus Tampa Bay, pick 19, 53, and 84.
Wow, 3 picks from Tampa.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intriguing.
Yeah, that's what I think they would select.
So, out of that, what do you guys think? And no man, y'all help me out too. What do you guys think is the better offer? What do you think? You guys can tell me, Naj and kids. What do you think?
Definitely Tampa Bay.
Tampa or just stay put, one or the other.
Yeah.
So Tampa was the first one. Let's run it again. Let's first of all let it play out for a couple of minutes just to see who picked what.
Want me to select it? Select one of these trades, or
just take the trade back and see what the next pick is.
They didn't pick Genty.
I told you.
Well, knowing that they had Bucky Irvin, I was surprised that they would come down here too.
They got
to be down for Will Johnson, the cornerback.
Yeah, I would say the corners are good too. There's like 2 good corners that would go in the top 10, I think, my opinion.
All right, let's look at this next one. Let's start it over and look and see if we can see some consistency. See who's offering us what. And remember, kids, whatever you're describing, just remember, Naj can't see it.
Mm-hmm. I got you, Naj. So this time around, Ashton Genty is again on the available for the take. The trade offers this time around start with pick number 14 and Indianapolis's second for the 10. So this is a trade offer from Indy. Pick 14 and the 2026 second round pick.
They want Warren. I guarantee it.
That's a good call. Warren is actually right behind Ashton Genty in the list, so both of those players are available.
But they don't need a running back. That's why.
You're right. You nailed it. So Denver is the next selection, the next offer that we have here. Denver is offering pick 20, 51, and their second rounder next year. These are 2 interesting offers. Personally, I don't know what I would do. Like, I'd have to do the Denver just because we get another pick immediately in this draft. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Nomad?
Is that these are the only 2 offers we got?
These are the only 2 offers this time around as well. 2 offers in both of these looks.
You're going to trade. To me, Denver looks like the better offer. Yeah, you get that 20 and you get 51 on top of your 39 and your 41. Dog, that's sweet. That's exactly what you want. You just can't be scared to move back to that spot.
So the only reason why the Indianapolis is interesting is if you move to 14, Genty or Warren may still fall to you. I find it hard to believe because I have a feeling that,
and you're picking up a second for next year too.
Yeah, that's what comes with it, right? So we'd get a second for next year.
You could always trade down the 14 too and get something.
That's what I'm saying.
More.
Exactly what I'm saying. We might be able to trade a second time and get a little bit more, or maybe we just get a second rounder for free next year, and either Warren or Genty is still available for us to select.
So, which one of those trades do you guys see as a more prosperous offer? You remember, man? You're talking about, you're hoping somebody asks you to trade down again later on. You don't know that you're gonna get that with the other pick. You know for sure what you're gonna get.
That's true.
Like Smitty Q's nailing it, right? If you're going 14, there'll be another trade afterwards, and you got it, right? So I think I would do the Indianapolis 14, scoop up a second round
Roll the
next
dice.
year.
Roll the dice. You're getting a good player at 14 if no one dances with you anyway.
Yeah, let's look at.
So y'all think the Colts pick is the best one?
I don't know.
Well, we got to call it. We got 3 more to simulate right quick.
Like Derek guy's saying Broncos. He thinks we should go the other direction, but I
They're
think
both good though. I don't care.
I think I want to test out this 14 and see what happens. I want to see if either one of these guys fall. Then we'll have a problem.
So we're gonna
pick Warren. I guarantee it.
I'm gonna call this one Indy.
All right.
Let's see what plays out.
Both gone. Oh no, Tyler Warren is there. They came down for. Oh no, they didn't pick Genty either. They took Shamar Stewart. Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's because we took their edge rusher, right?
Okay. So, all right. So let's run this thing one more time. I mean, 2 more times. Well, 3 more times. We got to do it. I just want to see if we can get some kind of consensus here. Now the Rams are in here.
This is the pick that we need to make. Really, this is the trade we need to make. So back to 26, we get 90 and 101. We're doing pretty good. Another second rounder and a third rounder next year.
Let me say that again for you, Naj. He says for pick 14 and pick 148, the LA Rams are offering pick 26, pick 90, pick 101, next year's second rounder, and the next year's third rounder. I don't know how anybody tops that. But is there other offers?
There is another offer. Just it doesn't look quite as sexy as that one does.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm checking Rams for this one.
You know what I mean? I'd be
looking almost the whole starting offensive line.
Well, especially in 2026, if you're looking at, if you're factoring in next year's draft potential, you've got 2, 3 second round picks. That's within the top 150. Another third round pick, so 2 third round picks, and your first round pick. We'll say maybe that's later in the draft. You're still that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 7 picks in the 150 of next year. Right. That's crazy.
So I know me some offensive play calling in LA. I'm guaranteeing this is Tyler Warren. They're trying to move heaven and earth to get Tyler Warren. I'm pretty sure about it.
Well, that's exactly what's happening here because again, they just lost out on Cooper Kupp, so they want some sort of firepower there in the middle. So I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, he went right away.
Yep. All right, so let's look at that first. Let's look at that first handful of picks there, kids. Go back to the top, if you don't mind. Let's look at that first handful of picks. Cam Ward again.
Like the Mike Ditka Saints trade. Remember that trade?
Yeah.
In these scenarios, Will Campbell is never getting past the Patriots in all these scenarios that I've been seeing.
So I'm telling you, they need a tackle. They need offensive line help. And if it ain't Will Campbell, it's the guy who went right before him in this particular draft, and that's Armand Membu. These 2 guys, one of these 2 guys goes to New England. I can almost guarantee that.
All right, let's run 2 more, man. Let's run 2 more and see. I'm not seeing what I've been seeing.
Carter made it to. See, this is an interesting selection for the Raiders. Actually,
we gotta keep it moving.
Wow,
so we can get the No Maniacs in on this one.
Interesting little selection of Travis Hunter to the Raiders. If they have him actually play Iron Man, that's pretty crazy. I don't know if anybody can really successfully play Iron Man in the NFL. I know Dion did it, but
there's Denver again.
It's the only offer we got this time around.
Denver.
But you notice that only Tyler Warren is on the mix. Ashton Genty's gone.
And they're definitely going after Tyler Warren at that spot.
Yeah. What happened to Naj? Did we lose Naj?
Yeah, he popped out for a second. His Wi-Fi is in and out. He'll be back. All right, so we got one more to do, man. Let's see what it is.
Just give me 1 second now that Najee is back. I'll get you back on. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. So really, I didn't find the consistencies, Naj, that I was looking for, except for Denver is constantly offering us a trade back offer. They are constantly offering that, and every time I do it, it's them and New England every single time. So realistically, any other team could come and scoop in and try to make something happen. But that's the consistencies I keep seeing. It's Denver and it's New England.
Okay.
I don't know why, but those two teams, man, I think what they are looking for at 10, that I think Pose is going to get an offer. I don't know if he's going to get.
I think he will.
Before.
I really think 2 corners are going in the first 10 or first 10 picks, but I could be wrong.
Man,
there's some really good corners in this draft.
Yeah, I know it, dude. Like the man corner, like the all around corner, the best all around corner
with good size and athleticism.
Oh man, dude, like
corner did go in the top 10 here.
Azaria Thomas, I think he's got the whole deal, man. He's gonna be your next. What's his name? That got drafted by the what's his name? Big tall. He's probably about to retire now. He's playing with Miami now. Wow. What is his name? But he's got those kind of traits to him, and he played at Florida State.
You got me. But Will Johnson and Travis Hunter both win in this top 10 situation.
All right, we got one more to bang out, man. Let's see what we can find.
All right, we'll ignore this Denver situation again. And Shedeur, eh? Shedeur is the interesting person to look at.
Uh-oh.
See, I'm not seeing Shedeur fall.
Seattle, huh? So yeah, Seattle for the number 10 pick and number 72 pick are offering the 18th pick, the number 50 pick, and the number 52 pick to move up. And Naj just floated out again. We got to wait till he comes back. We have to Jalen Ramsey. You're right. Thank you, White Ghost. That's dead ass right, Jalen Ramsey. Thank you. Who is that? White Ghost. Who else off that? So Naj, real quick. Can you go back to the first offer?
Yeah.
I gotta put Naj back in here.
I'm backstage, it says.
I got you now.
I'm in the show. I'm in the show.
So the Seattle Seahawks offered for the number 10 and the number 72 pick that we have, offered the number 18 pick, the number 50 pick, and the number 52 pick.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
That's real good.
That's pretty good. Let's see what the next offer is.
They need offensive linemen, big time.
So here's the Rams for the 10th pick. They're offering number 22, number 55, and the next year's 2.
So this is actually the Chargers, but yes, those are the no worries. I mix the two of them up all the time, but that's what they're offering: 22, 55, and next year's 2nd versus 18, 50, and 52. But we give up 2 picks for this one. I regularly see Seattle coming up here from 18 down. What I haven't seen is Pittsburgh ever make that trade offer. And the reason being, this guy. So far, I haven't seen Shedeur Sanders bumped past 9, which I find a little bit fishy.
Yeah, I don't care what the next team does. All I know is what they want to give us for number 10.
Well, I care what the next team does because it influences what we have to do at number 10. You see what I'm saying? Like that's this here.
How does it influence us?
I'll explain. So this particular player and this selection, if Shedeur Sanders is available on the board, I can guarantee you that a quarterback-hungry team is going to want to trade up, right? Is that team likely the Pittsburgh Steelers? Sure. Yeah, they definitely.
Depends on who's behind us. Who's behind us?
That's going to be the kiss of death for that kid playing Aaron Rodgers.
They're not going to be looking for a quarterback here unless they don't get something done with Brock Purdy.
Well, they just
if they don't get something done with Brock Purdy, I'm game for that conversation.
So they haven't done anything with Brock yet. And
they haven't.
The other part is they just they brought on another quarterback. I'm just blanking out as to who it is. Is it Mac Jones?
I believe it was somebody. I think Aaron Rodgers might be still on the table with them.
No.
Well, yeah,
yes, I say no, but like he's been trying to get to San Francisco forever. So maybe
I think he's still on the table because I think the deal should have been and could have been done with Pittsburgh by now.
Well, let's be frank about what we're talking about here.
Mac Jones, Bear Truth Not Healthy.
It was Mac Jones, so I'm right. Yeah, so they basically brought over a relatively caliber quarterback for peanuts. He ain't getting big money.
Okay,
so why do they need to re-sign Brock Purdy again?
I wouldn't. Brock Purdy get the league minimum if it's left up to me. I don't think that much of that guy, man. I think he's just a system guy who plays well under the circumstances. I think you pluck that guy out of that situation and put him in your standard. Just put him here. Oh man, he probably wouldn't make it through the season. The Bulls would be so bad. I think it'd be real rough on him. But that's just my opinion of that guy. But what do you guys think was the better move there? Was it? I think it was easily. Was it Seattle? Yeah, I think it's Seattle.
You like this one?
I'm going Seattle.
I don't know if I like this one. I think I like this one better. But
and so what I can see, what did you see as a consistency? Now I just for as far as a team goes, what did you see as far as what teams are targeted at that spot? Did you see some consistencies there?
Oh, I see what they're looking at right now.
No, you're saying who they're targeting, or is that your question?
Yeah. Did you see consistencies about who these teams were targeting at 10, or which teams were targeting us as a trade partner?
So, Nod, since you can't see it, I'm gonna give you a little bit of.
I think it would be mainly either a cornerback or Warren. One of the two.
So Warren is there. There's really a corner available, but who is available is Armand Membu, listed as the number 7 pick, and we're talking about Jim Harbaugh, right? At the Chargers, he likely wants this offensive lineman. That's probably my guess as to why he's throwing the.
Yeah, he drafted a left tackle last year.
Yeah, why not get a guard to go right alongside him? Shore up that whole side.
Do you think he drafted a guard though in the first round? I don't think so.
Well, this is actually Armand Membu is a tackle, so he can just basically shore up the other side.
Because when he was coaching at Stanford, he kept recruiting tackle, and if they weren't good at playing tackle, he'd just move them to guard.
Line them in, right? That's what you do.
All right. So what I saw as a consistency was teams were trying to get at Tyler Warren. And they were willing to offer what they could to get to Tyler Warren. I saw that that happened twice right in front of me. They people as soon as that thing was moved, they grabbed Tyler Warren. So to me, that's the trade target at that point.
I think so.
There's so now we're finding out now that where we will find value in that 10th pick, if Tyler Warren is sitting there, I think the pick becomes a little bit more lucrative at that point. When you guys say so. If he's sitting there at 10, I know a lot of people love Ashton Genty. I'm not saying that you can't get the same kind of.
There's so many good backs in this draft, though, that you can get value.
Not quite like that Tyler Warren cat, man. There's a couple of dudes that can bring you some similarity to the table, but he's different, man. He is.
He is.
Jimmy Santilli is asking, is Warren as good as Bowers? What do you guys think? Yeah. You say, one time.
Yeah, I think they're both kind of different, though, in their own way. And they're both just really mismatched nightmares in their own way.
Yes, in very different ways. I think Tyler Warren's probably a bit more versatile, to use a word. And to use another word, I think Brock Bowers is a bit more vertical. Like he's right. You know what I mean?
Warren's more of a Mike Ditka back in the day. He can run the ball. Can play in, he'll run routes in between the hashes without any fear, just like Ditka was.
So bear with me. It's funny. You were backing me up before. Look, I don't. Those rules strangely apply in every other season except for maybe this particular draft.
gotta read because Naj can't see it. He says, he says, I can't just draft a tight end at 10.
Jeez. And he also said the same thing about Genti earlier on. So I'm looking at the situation, and what I've come to understand is there isn't like so I'm gonna pose a question. And this goes for the chat too.
Absolutely.
Chat, here we go. So here's a big question. Who's the clear-cut number one pick of this draft? Go. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to think about this and answer as honestly as you can. Clear-cut number one pick. Not for the Bears, I mean overall.
Oh, everybody knows that's Cam Ward.
Why is that?
Oh, Cam Ward's the number one pick.
You think Cam Ward is the best talent available?
No, I didn't
say
that.
What I'm asking
you. About for who's picking that number one. I think I mean, I'm not. Is he the best player? Like who I think the best talent is in this draft?
That's what I'm asking you.
I think the most explosive football player in this draft is Savion Williams.
Oh man, why did I ask you a question?
But the best pound for pound, everybody's gonna say Travis Hunter because he plays both sides of the ball. You can't take anything from him.
Okay, I will accept.
Right. I mean that's just when I'm telling you that too. I look at what I don't know if you see the same thing when I'm looking at a football player. I look at a dude that's just as soon as he touches the ball, and you can do anything with that guy. He's just gonna be explosive from wherever he gets the ball at. The same thing with Travis Hunter. He's explosive wherever he touches the ball. But the added feature to him, he plays defense. What's interesting to me about Travis Hunter is what are they going to classify him as? What's going to be his feature? You know what I mean? Is he going to be featured on defense or is he going to be featured on offense? I think he should stick to DB in my opinion, but we'll see. I think he'll have a shorter career if he's on the offensive side of the ball because he's a little thin. But let's get the No Maniacs cooking, man.
They're starting to cook right now, to be honest with you, because that question is what I'm asking is a huge question, right? I don't think, and that's why I asked you like a second time. I don't think Cam Ward is the best player in this draft by far. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really not trying to diss the number one quarterback available in this draft, but he is the number one quarterback available in this draft, and the biggest need on this particular team is at quarterback. It is generally for the guy who's in this position, so they're selecting the quarterback that's available. Fair. Outside of that, I think you're probably right with Travis Hunter. He probably is the best all-around prospect, and I would say he's closely followed by Abdul Carter. Right? Those would be my top two selections by way of talent overall in this draft. And considering again that those two selections are not quarterbacks, this is sort of like a lost pick, right?
It's like when you talk about who's the best football player in the draft, like who is the best football player when they touch the ball. Travis Hunter comes up. Even Cam and Shador are in that conversation. But when you're talking about pure explosion, every time people ask me certain things, I get to thinking about something that Aldo asked me when I was at the bar room, and he didn't get it. He asked me who I thought was the best running back in that running back class. And I was, without flinching, I said, Jahmyr Gibbs. He was like, Jahmyr Gibbs, really? I said, yeah. And sure as shit, 28 damn touchdowns later, you know what I mean? I'm like you can tell. You just got to see what you see and believe what you see. Like Savion Williams is fucking explosive. That dude Kyle Williams from Washington State. Naj knows who that is.
Oh yeah,
just dynamite, dude. Just dynamite. Just a couple of guys right up
top. Running back at Washington State's good too. I forget his name, but he's going to be good for another couple more years.
He's young.
I forget his name, but
yeah, he's young. What is he? A freshman or a sophomore?
Sophomore, I think.
I forget that kid's name, but
he's not in the draft.
Man, so All right, let's get the no maniacs cracking. So, Derek Guy, you want to set this up, kids? And I'll get. You look like you have a little too much fun privately over there.
Who, me?
You're fucking with this damn draft.
Well, like I'm saying, it allows me to pose some very interesting questions because that question alone, and who noticed it. Oh, bear with me. I like you today, bro. Shout outs to you. Best person in the draft is a trick question because simply Cam plays the most important position, right? And he's right. So you kind of have to disqualify Cam as the best person in the draft and then really look at talent on either side of the ball. And whether you're leaning more towards defensive talent versus offensive talent, you're going to give me an answer. And I kind of like to hear those answers because those answers are generally what it looks like by way of blue chip talent. So you start with, again, Travis Hunter. You wind up looking at Abdul Carter. Strangely, Ashton Genty. Just like you went to Jahmyr Gibbs, Ashton Genty jumps into that conversation. So does Mason Graham. So does Tyler Warren. Right? Like those to me are probably the blue chippers at the upper echelon of this draft. And if any one of those talent, forgot about Will Campbell. If any one of those talents happen to fall, the Bears should probably pounce on the opportunity and or trade back and get a crazy haul for the opportunity. And that's where we are.
We only got nods for a little bit, man. So let's get you guys going, man. Let's get you guys going. I think you're about to be on the clock, Derek Guy. And don't forget, you got Marlon Johnson. If he's still here, give me a thumbs up, Marlon. If you're still here, I think Minister Charles, I think I just saw him. I think he's still here. So you got your staff, man. So let's put these guys on the clock and let's see what they do, man. First of all, we got to figure out what they want to do is trade back. Once we get set in the position, we're going to see what's being offered, and they're going to make some decisions.
All right.
So Marlon's still here, so we're good.
Perfect. So let's fire this puppy up. Derek Guy, you are on the clock, sir.
All right. First trade offer is?
There you go. First and only trade offer is from the Denver Broncos, pick 20, 51, and 85 for your selection, number 10. Ashton Genty has been selected. You are left with Tyler Warren, Tet McMillan at wide receiver, Jalon Walker, linebacker, Shamar Stewart at the edge, Malachi Stark, safety, offensive tackle Kelvin Banks, Matthew Golden, Mike Green, Colston Loveland, Derek Harmon, Michael Williams, Nick Emenwari. Those are like the top 11 selections you can make. He's trading. He's taking the trade. Probably should have knew that was coming. Trade has been accepted. We've fired our way right back up to pick number 20. There's a couple of selections and offers on the take here. First off, the Indianapolis Colts have offered you for pick number 20, pick 45, 80, and their second round pick for 2026. You've also been offered for pick 20 and pick 240, picks number 29 and 61 by the Washington Commanders. And after that Fail Mary game, I wouldn't be happy to do any sort of business with them. I just had to put that out there. I'll leave that up for you there, good sirs. Let me know what you want to do, but I'll also let you know who's on the board right now.
Do business with the best business offer on the table.
Well, sorry, man. Sometimes business is personal.
Hey, kids, he wants to see who's available.
I got you. So you got Colston Loveland, Michael Williams, my guy Nick Emenwari, who's like number 6 blue chipper to me, Tyler Booker, Jihad Campbell, Josh Simmons, Walter Nolan, Nick Scorton.
Still there?
Who?
Nolan I like a lot too.
Yeah, Nolan's fantastic, actually. He's being slightly overlooked by.
Ole Miss had a really good defense last year.
Dude, yeah. So Nolan's being overlooked because everybody loves Kenneth Grant, and those who don't love Kenneth Grant they either love what's his name, man? Why am I blanking out? Mason Graham or Tyleik Williams. But he's a solid player too, man. So coaches, Derek guy's asking you, what do you think? What do you want? That's Minister Charles Ben Johnson. And
first thing I think most people, first thing I would do, kids, if I was you, I would just look at the edges and then look at the offensive tackles. Just see who's there depth wise.
Sure. If it was me, I'm picking Nick Emenwari. No jam. So at the edge, you got Michael Williams, Nick Swarton. James Pierce is still on the board. He's dropped significantly.
Pierce is still there?
Yeah, so is Ezraku, who's also dropped significantly. That I find this really weird.
Coach Allen is asking for Michael Williams, talking about Minister Charles.
Oh, okay. And,
good pick too.
Yeah, so that's who's basically there on the edge. You were saying offensive tackle. An offensive tackle, you're looking at Josh Simmons, Ariante Ursery, who can probably get a little bit later on, Josh Connerly, and Marcus Bowe. Derek Guy's saying he likes Pierce. So Pierce
sounds like you got an edge rusher on the mind. Sounds like edge rushers on the mind. Now it's a toss up between Pierce so far, Pierce and Michael. I think it's early to get him, to be honest with you.
Here's the better pass rusher, right?
I feel like he's better than Michael. That's just my if I'm
a pure pass rusher, probably, but
yeah,
he's got he's light in the run game. He's light in the ass. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I read that too.
I don't. Okay, my bad.
I like him as a pure pass rusher, but you got to be able to play the whole. To get picked that high, you ain't gonna just be coming in on third down and chasing quarterbacks. Hell no. You got to play You got to play first through three, and get the run game down. But that's Derek Guy. You the GM. It's gonna be at the end of the day. You're gonna be the one making this choice.
Yeah. DG, you make your decisions. I think Marlon Johnson could still chime in here, but we've heard from the good minister. He suggests Michael. He's thinking about edge. If it's me, I know where I'm going.
Nick? Nick at night?
I would be going Nick at night all night long.
Yeah, I like him too.
Derek Guy saying, he said, we got enough power guys.
Okay.
He's looking, he wants a speed rusher. I mean, like if I'm you, Derek, if you convicted and you feel like that's the piece we need because we got power edges, if you think he's better than Mike Green as a pure pass rusher, I would say no. But that's me. If I'm going there, I think Mike Green is what you want.
Is he available?
Oh, Mike Green is on the board somewhere.
I don't think Mike Green's available. He's gone, man.
Mike Green's already gone?
Mike Green gone, bro. He went to Dallas. Cowboys took him.
He's in Dallas?
Michael Parsons probably about to be gone.
Yeah.
All right. We got to make something. We got to make a choice here. It ain't gonna be popular, Derek, so just do what you convicted to do.
Green is the next max, says Santilli. That's interesting.
Who is Allen? I'm not sure who you're talking about here.
Oh, who's Allen? He's talking Dennis Allen. I think it's Minister Charles. I think Minister Charles is Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
So Dennis Allen, in that respect, has suggested Michael Williams. 6'5", 260.
Paul just busted up in this piece.
Hey, Paul.
Jimmy Santilli just busted up in here. Don's been here for a while, but shout out to Don and some others that came in here, man.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think, Derek?
Just let me know when the pick is in. He's talking to Coach Allen right now.
It's in.
The pick is in. It's James.
James Pierce, you are a Chicago Bear. You're now at pick 39. The Dallas Cowboys have offered you pick 44 and their third rounder next year to move back 5 spots. Up to you. My thoughts is
what pick is that kid that just got picked? What was that first pick? What number?
So we have selected at pick number 20.
That was 20.
Yeah, at pick number 20, we selected James Pierce.
I'm putting it in there.
All right. So we have 39 now. I'll give you a look at the board. Actually, I'll give you a look at the trade offer first. So one more time, Dallas Cowboys offer you 44 and their third round pick. That's the only offering on the table right now. As far as available selections, I kind of love what's on the board right now, and I would sort of hate to be you because I don't know what I would do here. So Tyleik Williams, love him. Kenneth Grant, love him. Omarion Hampton, you don't have a running back yet, love him. Donovan Jackson at guard, Jackson Dart, you don't need a quarterback. Mason Taylor, peanut butter skin. Joseph Connerly Jr., fantastic offensive tackle. Landon Jackson on the edge, you just picked an edge rusher. So those are the next few selections. Carson Swessinger, he's a linebacker from UCLA. Trey Amos, cornerback. Travion Henderson, running back. Good look at what we're looking at. The Grant love is going crazy in the chat already, is what I'm saying. And I would hate to be it because I don't know what you do here. I think these two guys are fantastic, and you can't go
wrong. I'm a Michigan fan either, but whenever I do my laundry, I'm usually wearing a Michigan shirt because that's the only clean shirts I have.
Marlon, here's Ben Johnson with a take. He's finally coming out of the woodworks. He said, "Get Omarion Hampton here."
So I got to read what Don said, and like Ron C is backing him up, and I got to back him up on it too. Don is saying get Hampton because Kenneth and Tyleik are both there. So like likely one of these two guys is gonna go next. You kind of hope that the guy who goes is not Hampton. You know what I mean? You hope it's not Hampton, but I'll leave that up to you guys.
Charles says he's gonna be there at 41 as well too. So
do you think so? Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it will be. The way these algorithms go, you know what I'm saying?
You don't have to get a running back this early if you don't want to, but he will be there at 41 for sure.
I don't know. I have a feeling the Saints need a running back, man. Alvin Kamara's getting long in the tooth.
Well, they got
Philly says running back in the third. You crazy.
Absolutely. Or four.
Got the kid from TCU last year who's going to be a dog. I heard he got messed around by Dennis Allen, to be honest with you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Who's that? Who's the running back?
I forget his name. He's from TCU, but he was like one of my favorite backs in the draft last year. Probably my favorite back. What's helped me out, guys? The guy back up to Alvin Kamara down at the Saints. He played at TCU. He was a dog.
He just got Pierce, so he doesn't need an edge here. But just saying.
Somebody will tell me who it is. He was one of my favorite running backs last year. Don said he was good, but he wasn't.
Are we doing fantasy again this year?
Oh, you're darn straight. Superflex will be live and direct. We will be doing
fantasy. All right.
Oh, Mr. Charles says, "Hey, take Grant." I'm telling you, sir. I don't.
All right. I don't.
These today. Hampton will be there.
I won't argue with that.
Or let's go with the O line. Marlon says. Coach Johnson says, "Go with O line." Keandre Miller, yes, sir, Marlon. Thank you. Keandre Miller.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong either way.
He was all right.
Yeah, he flashed. Now he just, some shit didn't go right down there. I could tell something was off. But when he flashed though, I seen some I've seen some shit. Trust me when I tell you. Hey, Derek Gott said I made the pick 10 minutes ago. What is it?
Oh, I read up. He says I'm guessing it's Grant. Let me just keep scrolling. The pick is in. Oh, I'm slipping. My bad.
Well, is the pick in?
Pick is in. Kenneth Grant, you are a Chicago Bear. Boom.
What is the pick?
With love, huh?
What is the pick number?
Pick number was 39. We are now at
41, right?
We are now at 41. Both Hampton and Tyleik Williams are on the board. Considering you got the DT, you don't necessarily need the DT now, but you might need the OT. So there's Josh Connerly Jr. not a far ways behind. I will give you the intel on the trade offer that's on the table, and it ain't a bad one. Pick number 48 and 116. 41. So you're turning back 7 picks. You're getting an extra selection at 116. I don't know how bad that is. I actually kind of think it's a good thing, but you would definitely be sacrificing Omarion Hampton. That's probably the only other thing to say. But at least you can get yourself an offensive lineman instead, which likely will look like Josh Connerly if he falls.
One thing I know at this point, these guys don't need no advice. They know exactly what they want, boy.
Oh, you're done straight.
They know exactly what they want. Now they just trying to, toss it up between them.
Minister Charles is saying, Omarion now. I told you Hampton would be. Minister, you're right. He's here. He's there. You either make your Omarion selection as the good minister's saying here, or you got to get Hampton, bro. Even Don's with it. Everybody's rolling with the Hampton train. So I can't argue with that for a second.
Hey, anybody that didn't hit the like button on the way in, please stop and do so for us. Anybody listening and watching right now and haven't subscribed to the channel, but you like it and you want to come in and chat, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button, put you right on into the conversation. We'll welcome you into the community. But go ahead and smash that subscribe button and that like button, man. We appreciate you guys.
Marlon, what do you think? Derek Guy's asking. Any thoughts, Marlon? You let us know.
He's waiting
for the selection because it's starting to sound a lot like Omarion Hampton, unless you have something different to say.
And the crowd goes, wow.
Yeah, crowd's going crazy. Except for Jimmy Santilli, who says Suckeyes tandem are there in the 3rd round, maybe. Now, I have a strange feeling neither one will be there, and I'll show you there, Jimmy.
Oh. Hey, Coach Johnson, that's a smart man right there. That's a smart man right there. Take you an offensive lineman. Get you Jonas Savannah.
So Jonas Savannah is there.
All those sexy picks, man. Get the best offensive lineman.
Josh Connerly Jr. is also available right here too at the tackle. Those are your offensive linemen as far as the Buckeyes or Suckeyes, as Santilli was saying. Travion is real close to here. He's just a couple of picks behind. And then Judkins is at 56. That's just where they're positioned. So both of these guys are positioned smack into the 2nd round. When you start getting beyond number 64, Suckeyes are gone.
The GM is not leaning running back this early.
No.
He is not leaning running back this early.
No. Personally, doesn't want a running back this early. That's what his thoughts are.
You got your head coach wants offensive lineman. He called out Jonah. But the defensive coordinator, who is Minister Charles, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wants Omarion Hampton. So it's on the offensive side of the ball. It's about which player is most important here.
Yeah, again, you can always trade back and scoop up an extra pick to make some of this a little bit easier to handle, but up to you.
I'm like Jimmy Santilli. I'm like, we're brothers from another. I'm like this. I'm just like Jimmy, and so is Naj. So it's kids. Trenches win championships.
They do.
They do.
You have to do it. Right? You got to fill up them trenches, make sure you've got a little bit of depth behind you to handle attrition. Trade back.
You need at least one captain that's a trench player.
I had a feeling.
That's a smart move right here. The Miami offer only gets you back to 48. You still might be in position to get a really, really good player here.
Well, and 116 will put him in a great position to get another player too. So I have to agree with that selection. That being said, where's my music? All right, so you've accepted the trade. And as per normal, the Jets came in, they jumped up ahead of you and scooped Josh Connolly Jr. So Omari
Justin Fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Minister Charles Chatton from, I think, your channel on this one. He says, we've addressed immediate O-line needs in free agency. There will be a tackle available later.
He's not wrong.
He said, Derek Guy wants to see the board, kids. You got to slow down, man, before you give somebody a goddamn Caesar.
Sorry, buddy. So Mason Taylor is available here. Carson Schwezinger, linebacker. Travion Henderson, Jalen Noel, Jonas Savaianea, Wyatt Millam, Caleb Johnson, Azariah Thomas, Quinshon Judkins, Jalen Royals, Maxwell Hairston, and Princely Uman
Good too.
Ellen.
What he said. Here are your trade offers. Neither look particularly sexy. Picks 48 and your 7th rounder in 2026 for pick 122, a 2nd rounder and a 3rd rounder from the Broncos. That's actually not terrible if you're playing for future looks, but you're not. Pick 48 and pick 240 for pick 70 and Jacksonville's 2nd. Also an interesting look if you're playing for next year. Again, you're not.
I think you're sitting pretty. The pick is in.
Already.
Oh.
What number is this, kids?
This is pick number 48.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Correct? Yes, it is. Jonas Savaianea, you are a Chicago Bear.
Good pick.
Moving forward, you've got yourself a couple more selections or trade offers. Sorry, pick 122, Denver's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rounder for 2026. They're throwing the whole farm at you right now.
Keep getting Denver trades, don't we?
Yeah, Denver really wants to move forward in this draft and get some stuff done, but they also want your 51st and 148 pick to do so. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. 51 and 240 for pick 80 and a 2nd next year. Again, I wouldn't touch that one either. So those are 2 trade offers.
In my opinion, Derek, Jonah is the best pick you made so far. And I like your picks. But I think that highly of this football player.
Yeah, he really has a soft spot for Jonas Savaianea.
He's a good player.
I was just going to say, he's a very great footwork on the kid. He moves laterally very well, and you got to appreciate that. Yeah, so here's what you're looking at on the board right now. So Carson Schwezinger, Travion Henderson, Jalen Noel, Wyatt Millen, Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, Jalen Royals, Maxwell Hairston, Princely, what is that last name?
Umami Ellen.
What he said. Marcus Bowe, Isaiah Bond, Olufemi Oladijo. See, I can nail them sometimes, man, but once they if it gets a little crazy.
Yeah. Too many vowels.
I don't. This one's too much. Like, anyways.
Shout out to Aaron Johnson who just busted up in this piece. Shout out, man.
Hey, man. Aaron Johnson, what's going on? Trapper Keeper, what's going on?
We got a request from Ben Johnson. He says we can go Travion here. I didn't know he was still there.
Yes, sir. Travion Henderson is right smack in the vicinity of what we're looking at. Pick 49 selection. You are at pick 51.
That would be a good pick.
And Derek Guy's polling for the coaches. What do you think there, Minister Charles? See, Minister Charles had no problem with that previous trade. I think I agree across the board.
Don likes Damian Martinez like I do.
I do too. Martinez he's awesome.
Man.
I think he worded it well. Like he would be a good if you're planning on sort of rolling with Swift and adding a complimentary back. Damian Martinez is a good look. If you're looking at
wear defense down.
Oh, yeah. Naj, tell him about that video. Naj sent me a video. I think I spoke to it the other day, but man, I forgot about the.
It was the Oregon State game that they played University of Washington when Rome was a senior or his last year, and it was in the cold rain near the end of the year, and I think that was the only game in Corvallis that that Oregon State lost, but Oregon State could have won that game very easily. He had some really nice runs in that game.
They want to see safety, by the way, kids.
Well, he asked for 3-tech first. I don't really see any 3-techs left. Oh, TJ. Yeah, okay. There's
TJ West for Indiana. He's a good player.
Yes.
Yes, he's a ways back though. I think we can get him with the next.
I know, but Indiana had a really good rush defense.
Yeah.
Number one in the country. What was it? Number one?
That's what I was trying to tell you.
And that largely due to CJ West.
It absolutely was.
So there's some of your guys. Let's look at.
They gave up only 2.2 yards per run up the middle last year.
So at safety, you got Andrew Makuba, Kevin Winston, Lathan Ransom, Billy Bowman, Jonas Sanker, Jalen Reed, RJ Mickens, Malachi Moore, Sebastian Castro, and Keaton Crawford.
Coach Allen likes TJ Sanders, 3-tech out of South Carolina.
Yeah, I think he's probably right.
He's good too.
Yeah, he's twitched up like a motherfucker. I tell you that.
Yeah, I think that's if you're looking at a 3-tech here, I think that's what you do.
He's I like him better than I like and I like the kid from Ole Miss. He's just wild and needs to be refined, but like TJ Sanders is probably a little more controlled and more effective because he's under control more.
You sure you don't want to do Travion here?
He says, what do coaches think? Marlon likes Makuba as far as the safeties.
Lott is still on the board, Derek. Omar Norman Lott's on the board. I'm not sure if you'd call him a 3, though. You call Omar Norman Lott a 3-tech, Omar?
He's definitely a 3-tech.
Yeah?
Yeah. Definitely. He's probably the most disruptive of the board.
Oh, my God. I drafted him for you. I'm really sorry.
Oh, kids.
So no more. So I guess that's who you got on the board.
Oh, kids. No, you didn't.
You use your thumb again?
Yeah.
You did that last week.
Oh, kids screwed y'all again. No, yeah. Oh, man.
There's definitely ED skills to present.
All right, we're going to have to keep rolling. Kids got Omar Norman Lott for y'all. I got to put it in there. So you might as well say the pick is in.
That's who's in.
Do all that. What number?
Damn it.
What number was he selected at?
51.
All right. Damn. Sorry about that, you guys.
My bad. That's my bad for sure.
Man. We're good on the defensive front. I know that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to invest in Cialis for this. All right. Oh, snap.
The fuck?
At least you're not wearing dentures like me.
Well, yeah.
Oh, man. I don't want to see what the comments say. It got you. That kids, you know what? It's still a great pick.
It's not a bad pick.
It's a great pick.
Derek was asking about it, so I went and looked at it, and I totally clicked accidentally, and that was the end of that. That thumb. I know, man. I know.
It said the D line is complete. All right,
No.
so it's I mean, if that's a mistake, that's a great ass mistake.
Now Billings can retire.
Derek likes to pick, so all right, so we're good.
That's called failing up. Well,
It is it's definitely failing up. So you've got the minister is saying safety or tight end here, and I wish I could argue with him. Except there's really only one tight end I would even look at here on this board. So Gunnar Helm, Elijah Arroyo is your guy. Terrence Ferguson, Oronde Gadsden 2, Jake Brenningstool, Mitchell Evans, Luke Lachey. So that's kind of what you have on the take at tight end. Let's go look at safety. Billy Bowman, Jonas Sanker. I like Jonas Sanker a lot.
Kelvin's gone, Don.
Who's gone?
Talking about Kelvin. I think
Kelvin just went. Yeah, he just went. He probably went right after our selection. Kelvin Winston.
GM wants to see the totality of the picks. They're scrolling right at the bottom of the screen. Scrolling. Number 20, you got James Pierce. Number 39, you got Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle. Number 48, you got Jonas Savanea. He's offensive tackle. And number 51, you got Omar Norman Locke. So your trench work is you done yeoman's work there.
Yeah. So these are your safeties: Billy Bowman, Jonas Sanker, Jalen Reed, RJ Mickens, and Malachi Moore, and Sebastian Castro. I actually like all of these safeties, but out of them all, I like Jonas Sanker the most.
Coach Johnson wants to see receivers.
Sure. And I think you should.
You're welcome, Jimmy. Yeah, after watching the podcast and having fun, you don't pay attention to some of it. Yeah, it's scrolling right there.
So there you go. So wide receivers, you've got Alec Aomanor, Kyle Williams, Tez Johnson, Torrey Horton, Xavier Restrepo, and the guy that this guy thinks is the best talent in the entire draft at pick 111, Sevion Williams, Ty Felton, Dante Thornton, Pat Bryant, Isaac Tesla. Is it Tesla?
Yeah.
Damn. I'm sure Elon Musk would have something to say about this. Jalen Lane and Nick Nash and Ricky White. I do tend to lean towards good old Savion Williams if you're talking about wide receiver. Any other positions you want to go with? Oh, he's. Oh, Minister Charles is saying Caleb Johnson. Did I say Caleb Johnson is on the take here? He's still on the take. Shows Quinshon Judkins. I didn't even realize that. I'm glad we went back.
Running backs. Check the run.
Hey, I gotta fly. Gotta hit the head. So thanks for having me tonight.
Hey, Naj, stay in contact. Come back more and more often, man. Love you, bro.
You got my number now.
I got you. I'm gonna lock you in.
Uh-oh. He's gone for real. Man, good to have the Naj. Mad respect. Thanks for coming through, my brother.
He'll come back though.
Yeah. So Marlon Johnson's leaning safety. Minister Charles on defense is saying too early for Savion. I wish I could argue with him. Paul Rodriguez is throwing up Carson Swazinger. He's gone now. Oh, my bad. I'm only looking at.
Derek Guy wants to see safety one more again.
Derek Guy wants to look at safety one more time. So here we go. Billy Bowman, Jonas Sanker. They're much higher up in this draft. You still have another pick in the 100 area. Sorry, let me just look at something here. So you're at pick 72. You still have 85 and 116. Those are the next upcoming picks. You're picking at 72 right now.
Shout out to Jason Toy, who just busted up in this piece.
Hey, Jason, what's cracking?
Old tackle.
Offensive tackle. Hold up. Let me get you there. It's Holland Pierce floating around. Marcus Bose is there.
Hit that like button, you guys that are here. And please make sure you guys that are watching, you want to chat. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button and you're in the game.
So there's still a few tackles that I really like on this list. Marcus Bowe, Ozzy Trujillo.
Quick shout out to Lawrence Kennedy, who just busted up in here.
Hey, Lawrence. Cam Williams, Anthony Belton, Holland Pierce. All guys that I have a lot of respect for at the offensive tackle position.
I like the options there as myself. To be honest with you, but
even me, though.
I also like safety, and I also like receiver.
I like Minister Charles is right there with me. I'm leaning towards running back at this particular time. It looks like you made it to the third round, just like Jimmy Santilli was saying earlier, and one of the suck guys is available, and he's the one that I think is fantastic. Actually, I like them both, man. I wish I could say I didn't like Travion. I like them both, but Judkins is there, and so is Caleb Johnson.
I'm trying to avoid giving them name comments. I'm just telling them the position I like, because there's so many players. I don't want to influence shit they're doing, and I want them to have fun with it. And so I'm not going to say no name.
They need to know who's available. So I'm just trying to cover my ass so that they know who's who in the zoo right now. See Jason Toy's coming in saying he likes Judkins. I like Judkins too, but there ain't nothing wrong with Caleb Johnson right here. We do need a linebacker.
We know Judkins might be one of your unknown babies or something, man.
Don't be surprised. The way that I'm drafting these draft picks accidentally, like you never know. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do it, man.
You never know, man. Payow.
I like the running backs on the board are dope. Marlon is right. It's 5 running backs that's still on the board that we can take. Harvey, talking about RJ Harvey, talking about Ali Gordon, and he's talking about Devin Neal and Damian Martinez. Every last one of them are dope running backs. Every last one.
At this pick with the value, I like Marcus Ball.
Never mind. I thought the pick was in, but it's not.
Like
we're starting to lean though.
It's not terrible. It's not
Marcus Ball.
That's not a terrible move, man. Given what you've done so far, you've got a guard on the offensive line. If you get a tackle here now, you got some real good depth.
Santilli likes Caleb Johnson from Iowa.
Personally, I like I say, you know where I would go here.
Pick is in.
Marcus Ball.
What number is this, kids?
This is 72.
All right.
Marcus Ball, you are a Chicago Bear. Yeah, you might want to do that, depending. Oh, no, you don't. Because now you get the dude now. Now you got no excuses now. No excuses now, Derek. Let me just go through what you've been through.
He ain't no rush.
And go through what you've been through, Derek. So, pick number 20, James Pierce Jr., edge rusher. Kenneth Grant followed up at pick number 39, defensive tackle. Jonas Savainea, number 48, offensive guard. Omar Norman Lott, by way of accidental pre-ejaculative selection by Keds, defensive tackle at 51. Marcus Bowe, offensive tackle at 72. You are now at pick 85, and this is what your board looks like. Starting with linebacker Carson Swesinger, Quinshon Judkins, Alfred Collins, Ozzy Trapillo, Barrett Carter, Ashton Gelotti, Cameron Williams, Gunnar Helm, Kyle Williams, DJ Giddens, Elijah Arroyo, Cam Scatterbo, Tez Johnson, Dion Walker, and that's my nose guy. That's the nose tackle that I would have been selecting earlier on. But anyways, that's what you're looking at. Isn't Bo predicted to play guard? Very possible, bro. Yeah, you screwed up my defense, kids. I'm sorry, Charles. You'll thank me later when Omar Norman Lott just crushes it for you, bro.
Oh man, he said there are guys thinking playmaker, man. We need to go playmaker. Yo, My guy Patty Murphy just busted up in his piece.
What's up, Black Diamond? What's cracking, man?
Do like Jason Toy says, smash that like button, you guys. Be a fan. Be a fan. Help us out. Hit that like button. It just helps out the algorithm. That's all it does. All right. I don't know, man. This is a tough one here, man. I don't think you can go wrong at running back. I don't think you can go wrong at receiver, whether it be slot.
There's no way. There's no way I'm moving
Can't
past.
go wrong at safety either. Can't go wrong.
No way I'm moving past Judkins now.
Also, you can't go wrong at linebacker either, Marlon. You're right.
Judkins is the playmaker. Like Minister Charles ain't playing now. He's with me now for sure.
You get a great linebacker within the top 100.
I'm gonna let you guys marinate on this. I'll be right back. Marinate.
You can get a really good linebacker in the top 100, but also beyond the top 100, there's gonna be some great ones down there. If you ever need a word or two of advice, I can help you out with some of these guys down at the end. Just ask. No problems. Mr. Charles says Judkins is the playmaker. Don wants to know if Nick Martin is still there. He's more than likely still there, Don. I can't see it, but I think very likely he's there. I think he'll be there for probably until at least 120, 125. But I'm guessing. I don't know that for sure. Jason Toy likes Judkins. I'm like Derek Martinez. I'm like Derek Guy. I like Damian Martinez better for a bunch of different reasons. I think he's got more. To me, he's got a little bit more. That jump step, that jump cut he's got is ferocious.
Nick Martin I think he's projected in the 200s.
Is he?
Yeah, he's much, much, much further back. And I'll prove that to you guys here right now.
I believe it. A linebacker is not a premium position in this draft.
There he is. So 248, Nick Martin.
I'm talking about at a bare minimum. I tell you this, it's going to be a lot of guys that people are projecting them to be drafted way back here. And they ain't going to get fucking drafted way back there. I know what to do with them projections.
Wow. They are only that.
Marlon wants to see the LBs.
Done. Well, your top linebacker is Carson Schwarzenegger. That being said, you've got Barrett Carter, Smail Mondon Jr., Danny Stutz. I like Danny Stutz, man, and I'm like Stunner. He's pretty solid. A lot of range and length with him. Demetrius Knight, Jack Kaiser, Teddy Buchanan, Zoe Wright.
Black Diamond do not like ACC running backs. He's talking about Damian Martinez, probably.
Sounds about right.
ACC. He's a beast. He was a beast out.
Nick Martin,
guys never averaged less than 6.2 yards a carry, just for the record. And he did that at Oregon State and at Miami. They're discussing what position to draft. I think they're in.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. As you're talking about Nick Martin as a last resort situation. There's linebackers here all over the draft. I don't think you need to push the issue now.
We're getting a lean.
Playmaker.
As you probably want to go receiver here.
Okay. Well, let's look at the receiver class right now.
I'm a Big Ten guy, Diamond. I love the SEC too, but
so your next selection is 116.
Big Wash says Martinez. Come on. Mr. Charles says running back. 3 exclamation points.
Where's Martinez in all this mix here? He's not for a ways. Okay, that'd be interesting. Just given the way that their guy seems to be leaning. Maybe you go get the wide receiver now, and you get the running back next.
Tell me right now, he probably gonna want Savion.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? So if you're looking at the wide receiver, I think Savion is the better of the class. He's here at about 111. You select at 85 now, and then again at 116. Odds are Savion Williams will be gone. The other guy who will be there at 116, very likely, is your boy Damian Martinez. So in this case, you can get the wide receiver and the running back that you're looking for. I know it's a bit high for Savion Williams, Minister Charles. I agree with you. Personally, I would rather that you select Quinshon Judkins because I think he's awesome. But this is a Derek Guy draft.
Look at it this way: if you're convicted about a player and you've seen what you need to see in the player, it don't matter where this thing is telling you where they're ranked at. There's no such thing as too high or too low, because if you know what you're getting in that player, it doesn't matter where you get them at. It really doesn't.
And it's this kind of thinking that got us Velus Jones in the 5th round.
Here you go, man. I told you that man gonna slap your ass to sleep if he see you on the street somewhere.
That's all right.
He can go to Canada anytime he wants to.
That's okay. We got lawsuits in Canada too.
Gonna slap you, slam to sleep.
And we got lawsuits over here, bro. I got good legal representation. Shout out to my lawyer, by the way.
Man, I'm telling you, man, that guy.
Oh shit!
And she cares from the Nomad Network.
Oh man,
you be like, hold up.
Pick is in. It came in. Wow, look at what went
down.
There
it is. There it is.
Man, Dennis Allen gonna be mad.
Hey kids, what number pick is that?
That was 85.
All right.
And I think exactly what he wanted to go down went down. Because, who the hell's picking Damian Williams at 85? Nobody! That's the answer to that one. So your boy Damian Williams is ready to go if that's what you were trying to do.
Damian who?
Damian Martinez.
Oh.
Martinez.
That's a good pick, man. This is a good pick there. I love this draft, man. I love this draft. I do. Even the bungle pick was a level up. To be honest with you, this is a good draft. It's a good draft.
I think it worked out quite well, even with my little mishap.
AC
you will be there in round 5.
AC Adam just busted up.
Don ain't even playing. Yeah, Don, you think so, Don? Let's look at this, because he's slated right up here.
Black Diamonds, Bayless gonna slap the shit out
of you. We got lawyers up here too. I use some NFL money.
He gonna slap you to sleep. I'm telling you. You're gonna regret that one of these days. You're gonna run into Bayless some fucking way, Costco somewhere. A concert, hey, ain't you kids from the Nomad Network? Bing!
Right,
Derek Guy's leaning running back right here.
Of course he is, because he won Martinez. And Martinez is only a couple of picks behind here.
You know you want Martinez.
Because he said he wanted Martinez. You ain't paying attention.
I'm doing a lot over here, man. Where did Savion go at number? You can see it scrolling at the bottom, Mr. Charles, unless you're on your phone.
Derek Guy. I like Martinez better than Judkins. See
he went at number 85, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, where did Savion go? He was selected at 85.
Jimmy Santilli says he got to pop out right quick and run into the store. He will be back.
All right, Jimmy.
Be right here waiting on you.
Drive safe, brother. Black Diamond, I know. Like I said,
don't be cuffing for his ass, Black Diamond.
I'm trying to get some NFL money, come hook or high water. I can't do that pregnancy thing like the ladies. So maybe if I mess with Velus Jones long enough.
Don't try to help him, Diamond, man. He's gonna get beat to sleep. It ain't gonna be shit.
I'm also not worried because Velus Jones doesn't hold grudges. You know what I mean? Because he sure can't hold a football.
Oh Lord! Oh, Get his ass, Bayless. Get his ass, Bayless.
Oh, snap. He
Get
did.
his ass, Bayless.
Yes, he did.
Beat the sleep.
Yes, he did.
Oh, the pick is in.
Yes, he did. There,
What
Damian
number is it?
Martinez.
116?
Martinez.
This is 116, kids.
This is 116. Martinez. Martinez. Shout out to Uncle Luke on that one.
That's a dog. I might like this draft better than the one I did.
So you got yourself 148 on the clock right now. Oh, I'm not running back alone, so let's go all. Josh Farmer, Ollie Gordon, Dylan Sampson, Jamari Caldwell, RJ Mickens, Fadil Diggs, Jeffrey Bassa.
How many picks we got left? Number one.
I think you got 3 picks left. So this would be one of those 3. 148, 233, and 240.
I ain't instigating. That's kids, man. He keeps saying this shit. He trying to get beat to sleep.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. He doesn't hold grudges. Don't y'all hold grudges now?
Hey, Derek Guy wants to see tight end.
All right. So all your good tight ends have gone already, but that's not any reason for you to overlook this particular human being here because he's good.
Hey, there's your offensive coordinator's point of view. He's talking about Jalen Conyers or Mitchell Evans at tight end.
Both of them are readily available. Exactly that. I lean towards Conyers a bit more so than Evans.
Defensive coach had his piece. Jeffrey Bassa, linebacker from Oregon.
That's who the minister likes.
Have you guys looked at safety? Do we get a safety yet?
I don't believe they selected safety yet.
I don't think so. The pick is in.
Jalen Conyers.
Derek Guy ain't playing.
No, he ain't.
What number was that, kids?
That number was 148, and Jalen Conyers, you are a Chicago Bear.
Man, this is a good draft.
This is a pretty awesome draft.
This is a great draft. Y'all need all y'all that's involved in this, put this shit on your social media. For real.
Man, I honestly don't know where you go from here. Like, all I can really say is Nick Martin, but you could even get Nick with the next pick. Really,
safety, you can go another fast running back. You can go back in the trenches, and it's going to be a nice offensive lineman here, whether it be a tackle or guard. There's some great pickups in here. Great pick.
You do this just to piss off his daddy.
There's a linebacker work here. There's all kinds of good players here.
Craig Woodson, Shiloh Sanders.
He wants to see linebackers, bro.
LB's, your big homie Nick Martin's right there. Cody Simon, Colin Oliver, Jackson Woodard.
Aaron Smith, South Carolina State, is a sleeper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's some linebackers there for you. Get Cody, he says.
Don said we got to trade up for Caleb Downs next year. But sheesh. It's some good choices here, man. And so, like go down that list of linebackers a little bit more. Just go a little further down, a little further. Like, there's some really good linebackers down there. Some really good ones. Some really good ones, man. Some of them, you can go back up, but Eugene Asante, those linebackers are good down there. So we getting a lean. We're leaning towards linebacker. And he likes Simon from Ohio State, Cody Simon. I love this draft too, Don. This is a real good draft.
Well, this is a pretty gangster-ass draft.
this might be the best one put together, in my opinion, of all of them. If it's not, it's close to it. Mr. Charles says linebacker or trenches. No way you draft another running back. You get a UDFA for a running back. Well, damn it. You're also opinionated, Minister Charles.
You can do that for linebacker too, Minister Charles. Just saying.
Yeah, you can do it. It's like it's people's choice, you know?
Yeah. Here's your running back situation, but it ain't nothing super pretty. Nobody has really dropped here.
Coach Allen says he's cool with the linebacker, and the pick is in.
Okay.
What number is that, kids?
This is 233.
All right.
Cody Simon, you are a Chicago Bear. And with your final pick at 240, what you gonna do? Wide receiver for you guys.
Cody Simon, he played around so many great football players at Ohio State. He got lost in the sauce, man. That team was easily the greatest team assembled of the class this year. He just got lost with so many great players there. He's way better than people think he might be. Way better. Safety, kids. For Don, he says that he said for me that Savion pick hit the spot. Been telling my homies about him. Him with Ben Johnson. Man, dude. That dude is so explosive, and there's no limit to how you can give him the ball. That's what's special about him to me. Is you can line him up at wildcat quarterback, slot, X or Z. You can line him up at running back and just get him touches. And if you got it blocked up, he's just gonna explode on you.
Mr. Charles, I don't think they got a second RB. It's just Damian Martinez.
No, he's probably talking to me. He says he agrees, but of the two, I'm drafting a linebacker before a second running back. Hey, not mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at them in comparison, like if you look at the list of linebackers and you look at the list of running back, who's going to be your biggest playmaker? It's an argument you can make. Okay, your linebacker, how many reps is a linebacker getting drafted here going to get on this team versus a second fast running back who can compete with Roshan Johnson for snaps? When Swift goes out, you got a big thoroughbred running back already with Damian Martinez. I'd say that second running back is going to get more bites at the apple than that next linebacker. What number is that, kids?
And at pick 240, final selection, Charles Woodson, you are a Chicago Bear. Pardon me, Craig Woodson.
Craig Woodson.
Force of habit.
Another dog. This is hold on, man. Let me get this in here. What number was that, kid?
240.
240. Thank you, sir. Craig Woodson. Oops, something wrong. This is a very good draft, and we won't realize how good it is until, like, you put that up there. Give me a second. I'll have it on the screen. This is real good, man. I'm overjoyed with the Super Nomaniacs today. Holy shit. You want to read it off, kids? You can.
Absolutely. This is a pretty solid draft to me too. So starting off with pick number 20 after trading back, your Chicago Bears have selected James Pierce Jr., edge rusher, Tennessee. Pick number 39, Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan. Pick number 48, Jonas Savainea, offensive guard, Arizona. 51, Omar Norman Lott, by way of had sticky fingers. Defensive tackle, Tennessee. Marcus Bo, pardon me. At pick 72, offensive tackle, Purdue. Pick 85 was Savion Williams, wide receiver, TCU. Followed by pick 116, why do I keep calling him Damian Williams? Damian Martinez, running back, Miami, Florida. 148, Jalen Conyers, tight end, Texas Tech. 233, Cody Simon, linebacker, Ohio State. 240, Craig Woodson, safety, California.
And for the record, go Blue.
You've been hyping about a kicker all night long, go Blue. I love you, man.
I mean, he might not be wrong there. I don't know what they're going to do there.
You know what they're going to do? And find a kicker on waivers and pay him. Maybe. It's like everybody else.
Maybe.
Same way they came up with this guy in the first place. Remember this guy used to play for us a little while ago? He flunked out. We got rid of him. And then he came back and was lights out.
Like you know what, go Blue? Sometimes like this league, he's right. The league does very much recycle kickers.
They do.
It's very much so. But every now and again, a team can get to a surplus stage on their roster. You know, and I don't know that we're there yet. We're almost there. You know what I mean, kids? It's like once you get to that surplus point, you go out and go draft that guy.
See, this is why I was ribbing Ryan Poles a little bit earlier on in saying that the kicker selection was a little bit of hubris, because that's the type of pick you make when you're at that level, you know, like the level you're just describing. Once you're a competitive football team, you can sacrifice an actual draft capital for a kicker or a punter. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Do what you need to do, especially in a situation where you're actually competitive. This team hasn't been competitive over the last few years, so selecting a kicker when he did was a little bit short-sighted. But hey, here we are. He's filled the holes.
Just jumped the gun a little bit. You know, you got when you're Philadelphia or something like that, that's done a really good job of getting depth on your roster, and there's no real serious. We got to get this position solidified, and we're short-handed here. We're a couple of players short here. You know, when you're in that position, you can't be drafting kickers. You know, but when you're like them and you're replenishing your roster through the draft, and you don't have to go crazy in free agency, you can get you the best kicker in college.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? So even Don is sort of sitting here saying, I believe Justin Tucker was a UDFA. Pretty sure he was. You know, same token.
That's wild if that's true.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Same token, I believe the San Francisco 49ers got themselves a UDFA kicker this past offseason, and he has almost the identical stats to Torrey Taylor. So again, like that's just me being a little bit of a jerk about the whole situation. I think they should have, you know, either drafted Austin Booker in the 4th or drafted Justin Irvin in the 4th. But here we are. We did wind up getting Austin Booker anyways. He fell to the 5th, and we were able to trade back in to get him. Great. But, you know, if we didn't get the picker, if we didn't get the kicker, we might have got the running back situation set up correctly.
You know what? And I want to say this to all the Nomaniacs, super Nomaniacs that drafted this. Like, I want y'all to understand, like, this is very, very pleasing to see this. Like when I look at these selections right here and how you guys came to them, the way you guys went back and forth, this might have been one of the best dialogue drafts that you guys have done. I mean, going back and forth with making sure you guys are on the same page, seeing it the same way, whether you're talking to each other or listening to us. I know by just looking at these picks, I ain't the only one watching film. You know what I mean? And I know I wasn't all the time, but I spent quite a bit of time looking at it. And I can tell people are spending quite a bit of time looking at these guys on film because there was conviction out of you guys. And this shit makes me super proud just looking at it. I know that this came from the people that support us on this channel. And so this is dope. This is dope. I'm putting this all over the place. I'm just telling you right now. Shoot me this one, kids. I'm putting this all over the fucking place. All right. I'm going to fix it up, too.
All right.
I'm going to fix it up, too. 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 I'm going
Well, punter is well worth that pick. He's a game changer.
So whatever the fuck you want, just bust it up in this piece.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a good punter, really good. But I don't know who else was really checking for a punter in the actual draft. No, did anyone else draft a punter last year?
It's not the fact that the punter was a. You can't take anything away from the player. It's not.
I'm not. He's really good at what he does. Don't get me wrong.
It's not that. I got to make sure that everybody I note take who was who in this draft. So I'll highlight that when I put this out there. But it wasn't the fact that the guy wasn't a good player. It was a good pick. It was just the bad timing for the pick.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna be picking punters and you ain't did shit in the trenches? I heard
fix the trenches yet.
Go check when you get done, kids. You get a minute. It's like a 19-20 minute Detroit Lion media availability where this one guy was interviewing the GM, the team president, and the head coach. The team president got up there, and I'm pretty goddamn sure he was taking a shot at the Chicago Bears. And they was asking him about, drafting and, being convicted, and people laughing at them when they picked Jahmyr Gibbs and whoever else they picked during that draft. It was like back to back. And I think it was Jahmyr Gibbs and the linebacker or something like that. And I'm pretty sure he took a shot at Ryan Poles. He's just like, there's other teams out there that don't know what they're doing and can't draft, but they're laughing at us and something along those lines. I'm pretty sure that was a direct shot at Ryan Poles. I'm pretty sure. And so anybody that's listening to my voice, matter of fact, let me see if I can find it on YouTube, and I'll just show you guys. I'm not gonna show the video. Let me just go to, so you guys can go look at it yourself, and y'all determine what you think this is. I'm just gonna put Detroit Lions.
All right, so that's I just found the information I needed to find, and he was the only punter selected in that draft. At pick 122, we got Damian Martinez at 116 in this draft. It's pretty early for a punter, if you ask me.
Hold on, give me a second. I'm finding this video. I gotta find this shit because
yeah. Just his response to it all. I gotta give him a shout out here. Like, look, we wasn't doing nothing with loose anyways, so it's good we got our punter. We punted a lot.
I can't find it. I'm gonna find that.
Man, Don, that's the realest answer you could possibly give. I guess maybe Ryan Poles knew something we all didn't. Maybe that's the way to look at it. Oh man, we're gonna be punting all year long, so we might as well get the right guy now and get him out of the way because there's gonna be a lot of punting happening.
Yeah, like as much as I love Romo Doomsday, I don't know, kids, if you remember, but that in that draft, I was pounding the table to get the
man.
No. Talise Fuaga.
Yeah, okay.
Me and Samo was like, dude, this is the dude. And to me, I think he was the best tackle in the class. And I don't think anything thus far has proven me wrong. They are over the moon about Talise Fuaga down in New Orleans. That was the right pick for the Chicago Bears. Romo Doomsday is a great football player, one of the best receivers in the draft. But at that point, did you really need? I think they got so concerned about trying to pretty this thing up for Caleb Williams, they forgot you need to fucking protect him. Talise Fuaga was the right pick at that moment.
Look, I can't argue with your sentiment here. There's issues with just that surround that whole situation, and the first one was that if you had your heart set on drafting the wide receiver, why go and get a wide receiver in free agency? And if you're going to get the wide receiver in free agency and spend a draft pick to get him, when you probably could have just waited it out.
I understood.
Why
that.
not? Hold on. Why not get the offensive tackle that you're talking about?
You're right. There's two parts of what you're saying. You set it up in a way to where if you're going to go and get the veteran wide receiver, which I believe Caleb definitely needed, you needed a veteran wide receiver. Not to say that Rome couldn't come in and excel with him, but to make Caleb comfortable, I think that was the idea. Get a vet receiver in here and pair him up with a vet that's really, really done this, and this should be able to help him level up a little bit. And I don't know how well that worked. I think it helped him out partially, but to me, the better help and the better really immediate player that would have helped Caleb would have been Talise Fuaga, in my opinion. And then you sign Keenan and you just draft a receiver later. You know what I mean? That's what you should have did. But that's why people say over and over again that, they doing this shit ass backwards.
I just didn't understand the double down there. Right? Like that's what I'm sort of trying to say. If you're gonna go get Keenan, I understand the science behind it. If you have to throw a 4th round pick at it, okay. So now you've got the wide receiver and you've spent capital. Do you then also spend capital on another wide receiver in this draft? That's where things go sideways for me. You probably should have got the offensive tackle and addressed the trenches right then and there. No, like I'm not taking anything away from Rome. You flip it the other way around, you don't get the wide receiver and don't utilize that 4th round pick. You select Rome in the 1st and you use the 4th round pick to address the trenches, or shake things up a little bit and still address the trenches.
Or you just get the receiver a little later.
Or you go for it just gives you more things that you can do. But it is. Don, like I like I'm saying, I hear what you're saying, and I don't mind what I don't mind the selection of Odunze there. I know Nomad is sort of saying get the offensive tackle. I don't mind the selection of Odunze there. I kind of out of it all really mind the Keenan Allen maneuver, because if you kept that 4th round pick, you could have got the trenches squared away, and you could have got the wide receiver.
I'm definitely not the guy, Don, that's saying get Genty or wide receiver early.
I am.
That ain't me.
Oh, not a wide receiver.
I don't think, to be honest with you guys, and I said this quite a few times, but I said
no wide receiver here to do that.
I don't think this draft should be very sexy for Chicago. You know what I mean? What do I mean by sexy? I mean, you might need to make some ugly picks to make sure you got depth along that offensive line. Sometimes you're going to have to get that guard. You're going to have to get that other tackle. Might have to get another guard. You know what I mean? You just don't know. But there's going to be it's going to be a running back, and there's going to be a receiver at some point. But the rest of the shit shouldn't be sexy. Be honest with you, it just shouldn't be. In my opinion, the way I see this roster.
Well, whatever the F you want, I can't argue with that. This is definitely all in hindsight, and hindsight is much more 2020 than it is the other way around. It's tough to find your way through all of that. So again, GM's job ain't an easy job. Thought they plugged the O-line. Davis and Bates didn't work out. These are factual statements, sir. And you can also say that Tevin Jenkins was hurt for the better part of the season. And you can also say just about everybody else by way of depth was hurt as we went forward. So you're right, though, Don. We would be in a position where we would be forced to get.
You don't know what we could have got later on in that draft. We could have got a decent receiver later on. Just because we didn't get Rome doesn't mean we couldn't have came up with a decent enough receiver to where we wasn't forced this year. So I can't remember who the options were later on in that draft, but I think there were some pretty decent ones there.
No,
I think so.
Not deep in the draft, but in like the top, there were like 15 really good selections, but not into like the 4th round we're talking about here now, right? Like so.
And I do think Rome is going to be elite one day.
Me too. That's why I'm not really worried about. You know what I mean? I'm not really worried about the selection. I'm sure we're going to see a whole lot of that this year coming, right? Because basically, Caleb's going to be forced to utilize DJ Moore and Rome, even whether they're thrown into slot positions or not, or rotated in and out. But I see them getting a lot more looks this time around. the only thing that worries me with the offense is just the thing that worries me about the offense last season was just like how frequently Cole Kmet would be overlooked. I don't like that. There was a lot of snaps where he was wide open, and what I found was that Caleb sort of had a tendency to try to go over top of him to roam, which I understand too. But
all of it was a Caleb Williams thing, man. All of that was functionality of Caleb Williams, where he preferred to go with the ball, and sometimes it was where the design of the play was going to go, but other times it was just, okay, I like this. I don't think he likes the short area stuff, but I think he's going to have to get used to it. But that's a conversation for another show. We'll probably do that on some extra sauce, because tonight, kids, is Sunday sweetheart night with my lady. Man, she's off on this Sunday. Next Sunday she won't be, and so we can kind of move around, and hopefully she won't come in the house as an ogre when she get off to work and we're still on doing the show or whatever. But we're gonna have some more guests for you guys. Hopefully this week. I got a secret for you guys that we're gonna hopefully this plays out. But I got a secret for you guys. We got some more guests and some more people we're gonna introduce to you guys on the show that I can't wait for you guys to meet. But before I get all the way into that, kids, do you feel like? And don't forget to send me this. Please email me this, please, so I can put this out. I'm proud of shit of you guys, man. This is a good ass looking draft, man. Every last person involved in this was real good. But while you do that, I'll just talk to the No Maniacs before you give shout outs and round it out before we can get up out of here. Rome is that guy. I think so, man.
Rock and roll.
I think he was just in a tight spot in a particular kind of situation, Don, to be honest with you. It wasn't about him. It's about the current circumstances that he was in.
No, not to take anything away from Rome Odunze. Real talk. It was all a function of a poorly coached team with a porous offensive line. That's probably the best way to put it. And little to nothing to do with Caleb Williams, because again, you could see when he was able to get the ball out, generally it was to Keenan Allen, but he was able to get it to him in spectacular fashion. So if you can do that with one receiver, you can do that with the other three, and maybe even with the tight end. So question is, can the offensive line protect him long enough for him to make those types of decisions? So we'll see how that all works out, man. I'm sure Rome Odunze will turn the corner. More importantly, I'm sure that offensive line is going to turn the corner this time around. I think the right things have been done. So, all that being said, that this draft is in your inbox. By all means, post that on social media there, Nomad, for the world to see. No Maniacs, I think you did a fantastic job with this draft. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Give you guys a straight up round of applause. I think that was fantastic. Very well done. If anybody's happy here, definitely Nomad is happy. I see a bunch of his personal favorite guys right here on this here.
I love all these guys.
This take. I do too. I have a lot of respect for a lot of the human beings here on this particular draft. And hopefully the Bears feel similarly. Whatever the F, shout out to you. We'll start out with you here today. And yes, I would straight up take Ashton Genty. I don't give an F. So there's that. Don, big shout outs to you. Thanks for all the interaction today. Big ups. Big ups to Super No Maniac, the minister, Charles Johnson himself, and Super No Maniac, Marlon Johnson himself as well. Shout outs to both of you guys. Thank you for being friends to the network. And you guys should be Super No Maniacs too. Shout out to our guy, Derek Guy. Big ups to you, and thanks for helping us out with the draft. Jimmy Santilli, go blue. Big ups to both of you guys. Big ups to the Immortal Nodge. Thanks for hanging out with us live and direct here on the show for the night. That was great. It was good to chop it up with you and catch up. Big ups to Petty Murphy. What it do, Petty? Black Diamonds is in the chat doing the darn thing. Oh, I didn't see my guy, AC Adam. AC Adam was with us. Big Wash was with us for a little bit here today, too. Shout out to you, Big Wash. Paul Rodriguez. What it do, Paul? That's our guy. We've also got Jason Toy. Shout out to you, Jason. Big ups. Mad props. Mad love to Lawrence Kennedy, who came through and hung out with us. Aaron Johnson as well. A whole lot of Johnsons in the in the chat. Just put that out there. All kinds of
Johnsons,
Johnsons.
huh?
There's a whole bunch of Johnsons out there. Who else we got? Who am I missing? I know King Booker jumped in, chopped it up with us for a little bit. Ron C was in the place to be. Who am I missing out there? Got to be a couple more heads. Oh, Cornelius. Number 2, No Maniac. My guy Cornelius Squalls is with us. Bear with me, holding it down. Aunt Moss was with us as well. The White Ghost, WG. What's cracking, White Ghost, man? Shout out
Jimmy Santilli came in and bounced out, came back in.
Came back. Yes, he did. The Scrolls was with us, but the Scrolls had to be Nate Davis at some point because he had to pick up his daughter. So there's the Scrolls.
Jimmy, don't do that to us, man. You don't do that to us, Jimmy. I got it.
No, we'll hit you again Wednesday, Jimmy. We definitely will. Tonight we're gonna jump off, and I think it's a great idea because I'd rather not be late for tomorrow either. Gotta see a man about a horse as well. Bear with me. Shout out to Bear with me. Smitty Q was out there. What's popping, Smitty Q? Always good to have you, my dude. I thought I saw somebody else in there.
Yeah, Wednesday for sure.
Oh, BT9, man. BT9 was out there with us too.
We might have something before Wednesday, but we'll see. We'll see, Jimmy, because something I'm working on.
Okay. Crooked Commish was out there. I didn't even see the crooked one. Shout out to you, my friend. And shout out to your team over at the Chicago clubhouse.
You see Naj right here?
What's he saying? Lots of Johnsons, but only one big Phoenix energy. Oh, that's hilarious. That's too funny. Create Culture. Shout out to Create Culture. Liberty's Outlook. Big ups to you, sir. Big ups. Bob Keller came in just to cuss us out a little bit and say, Kelvin Banks. Wanted some Kelvin Banks love. Trapper Keeper. What's popping, my brother Trapper? Man, who's out there? Oh, Joseph Archer. He's a super no maniac. He supports the network. Mad love to you. And Dobbsy34. Shout out to Dobbsy. Who else we got out there? Let's see. Anybody I'm missing out there? Let me see.
I got to ask a question.
Uh-huh.
I can't hold water right now because this is just a little bit of promo.
Oh.
I don't know how familiar you are. I'm talking to No Maniacs. How familiar are you with Emory Hunt that does the draft coverage on CBS Sports? Emory Hunt is he's like one of he's everywhere, man. He's at the Senior Bowl, he's at the Combine, he's everywhere. He might be somebody that might come on and do a podcast with us. And I really, really respect. Like I watch him and his coverage and his evaluation of players. He thinks a lot like the way I see the game, and he's one of the guys that don't get, with the Mel Kipers of the world. It's hard for a guy like Emory Hunt to come along and really, really make a name for himself. But I'm telling you, when I tell you guys this guy is good, I'm telling you, you're gonna be amazed at how he describes to you those players, man. I'm telling you. Hopefully I got a tentative agreement with him. Hopefully he follows through with it and we get him on the show. But holy shit, I think he's really good at what he does, man. And I think you all will like him, man.
Well, shout out to Emory. Hopefully you get to come on and spend some time with Nomad and the Canuck. Yeah, that guy. By all means, y'all, give me a little like, share, subscribe, love over at Kids of Canuck on my channel. We are multi-streaming live right now, but it's always good to have you guys in one chat room, to be frank here. So before we shut it down, by all means, fire my spot up. I will throw I will share the channel in the chat, and just give me a little subscription love, man. It goes a long way. Appreciate it.
And hit up my guy Trip, even though he's not with us tonight. He's probably busy editing his 88 personalities on Sports Chicago style, but that guy stays busy doing his thing. And even though he ain't here tonight, I know he probably wishes he was. He getting a shout out, and he's always gonna get a shout out because that's my bro, just like Kez is. And check him out over there, man. Kid, if you want stuff that is not your regular Penny Annie Bears content. Trip brings all the flavor and character to the Bears content. He just does sports. You know what I mean? He does sports Chicago style, man, but he's all over the place on Kofi. He's on Roku. No, he's not on Roku. He's on Twitter. He's on Facebook and Instagram and Blue Sky. And so all those places you can check out Trips, man. But that's my brother. Y'all check him out. Do what No Maniacs do and go hit that subscribe button for him too, as well as kids. Do your thing, man. Help us out. Be No Maniacs everywhere, not just here.
Shout out to Lawrence Kennedy, the good minister Charles Johnson, and the immortal Nodge for giving me a little bit of love already, man. Thanks a lot, you guys. Big shout outs to all three of y'all.
All right, so you can pull that down if you don't mind.
Why is Bertha bothering you? She bugging you?
Hey man, she a little big for me. Shout out to Black Diamond. Hopefully we're gonna get Black Diamond on the show early this week. I got to squeeze some people in here, man, because we got guests, we got No Maniacs, Super No Maniacs that come in, and it's gonna be kind of busy trying to get everybody in. But if I got to do extra shows, I'll do it to make sure you get in here, Black Diamond. Trust me when I tell you, you getting on this show, one of these shows, and how we get you on here, we're gonna get you on here. But be looking forward to a whole bunch of good content. Hopefully you guys are appreciating all the content that we're putting out there. Every day there's new shorts. Every day there's videos. Every day, I ain't gonna say we're doing podcasts each and every day, but we're working on probably trying to set up a situation so that we can give you something like a podcast and the shorts and the videos every day. So the content king right about now, we're gonna be filling in all the blanks for you guys. We're gonna make sure you guys get a little bit of everything over here. I'm diligently, and so is kids helping me out, making sure that we push this stuff out to you guys, because I know you guys can't get enough of the content. It's just great, man. We all Bears fans, and I was before doing this, you know what I mean? I couldn't get enough of Bears content, kids. I could not find enough Bears content, whether it be in shorts, whether it be in little videos, whether it be in podcasts. I could not find enough Bears content whatsoever. I appreciate you, Derek. He says anything to grow the channels, I'm good with. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to blossom like flowers do, man. And we're going to do that. And another thing I would say to you guys, and I this is something I've been thinking about for quite some time, is I got the opportunity to press some buttons and kind of take this thing kind of commercial if we wanted to. I got one offer and maybe a second one, but I didn't really press go on it, because one of the things I think is important when it comes to this kind of stuff, kids, people might see this differently, but one of the things I would like for this channel to be is a organically grown channel without the commercial influence. And so the more and more you guys that grab memberships, and the more and more you guys that send super chats, that keeps us stable organically without the commercial influence. And if you want to see this channel grow, but you want to see it grow organically without the big names and the big sponsors and all that stuff that comes with commercials and ad reads and all that kind of stuff, do what you can to help us out. Help us grow this thing organically. We do it purely by people that help us out through donations. We'll keep the channel that way. I have no problem with that. I don't need Chick Razor to give me a contract or a sponsorship. Help us out that way. Grab a membership. Grab as many memberships as you can. One person can grab many memberships if you wanted to, just to help us out. I would love to pay the bills over here without big sponsorship. But that's one of the couple of options we have. We can grow this channel that way, or we can go the route of most people go. And I hate the beaten path. I like to pay my own way with people that support us. That's just my energy, man. So just wanted to leave you guys with that, and love you guys. And I cannot wait. Be looking out on Instagram. Be looking out on, I'm thinking about putting it on Facebook, but I'm definitely going to put it on Instagram, and I'm definitely going to put it on Twitter. Probably going to put it on Twitch too. That draft you guys just did was awesome as shit. That was a dope ass draft. I'm just telling you guys, that was real, real good. And again, man, I'm putting it out on social media because I'm that proud of it. But I appreciate you guys for coming here tonight. This was fun, like it always is. Stay tuned this week. We might have to run an audible and do a podcast off schedule because of maybe a guest that might be presenting himself, depending on when and where he can come do a show, we'll see. But we might have to run an audible. But hopefully we can get him on Wednesday on some extra sauce or something like that. Either way, we hope we get him on here. So I got to leave you guys with these famous words because I appreciate you guys. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, now repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, we are